You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time show.
Play ball! Are you ready to let the good times roll?
Are you ready for Kernels baseball?
The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, and the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels welcome you to Cedar Rapids Kernels baseball. Now in his ninth season as the voice of the Kernels, here's John Rogers.
It's a beautiful Memorial Day here in eastern Iowa, and the Kernels will wrap up a 4-game series, hoping to make it 3 of 4 against the Lansing Lugnuts. This is the final game of our longest homestand of the season, 11 games, and we've won 7 of the first 10. The Kernel record is 29-20. We're tied atop the Western Division first-half standings with Peoria, and a special challenge for the ball club this afternoon on Memorial Day. We'll be facing big leaguer Ryan Dempster. He's 27 years old. He won 14 games as a Florida Marlin in the year 2000 and then won 15 for the Marlins in 2001. Matt Abram has yet to join us on the dugout interview this spring. He will this afternoon. Matt Abram next on the dugout interview. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
This is the time of year when people are giving and receiving lots of presents for weddings, showers, and graduations, plus the usual birthdays and anniversaries. Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling reminds you gift wrapping paper should not be disposed of in your blue recycling box. Instead, reuse your gift wrapping paper for other special occasions or put it in your regular garbage for collection day. Remember, don't put gift wrapping paper in your blue recycling box. Thanks from Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling. Here's a fact about the new Veterans Memorial Stadium I bet you didn't know. All of the grounds surrounding our community's newest source of pride are maintained by Greg's Lawn Service. That's right, it's Greg's Lawn Service that provides you with that initial lift when you approach our magnificent new ballpark. Greg's Lawn Service can put their first-class signature on your yard, elevating it to the same immaculate condition you see around the stadium. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest since 1983.
Broke camp from Arizona a couple of months ago. Did you have any idea that Bobby Magallanes would use you in so many different ways, including a start at second base this afternoon?
Well, Bobby told me to be ready to play anywhere, and I've been getting my work in at a lot of different places. Shoot, I'll take it. I'll play anywhere I can when I can get in the lineup.
Well, we've seen you DH. We know that you're a catcher by trade. We've seen you at the hot corner and at first base. And, Matt, you did get just a taste of second base earlier on this homestand, and I think ended a ball game when a ground ball found its way to you.
Yeah, it was interesting. Bases were loaded, 2 outs in the ninth, and lefty was up, and I knew it was coming to me, and it's been about 3 years since I played there. But, ground ball is a ground ball, and it was nice to make the play to end the game.
Matt, so many guys look at that throw from second base as a shorter throw because it is the shortest throw on the infield. How do you have to adjust when you're used to catching and playing third, coming straight over the top with your pegs?
Well, I did kind of lob that one over there to first because, I was a little shaky. I didn't want to throw that one away. But, I've played so many different positions that that's the tough thing is getting my arm slot the way I want it to be. So, I just try to be an athlete and just throw the ball. When you think too much, sometimes things get out of hand.
Matt Abrams, our dugout interview guest. And, Matt, you did a player appearance with us recently on behalf of Toyota Financial Services in the summer reading program, and you felt very comfortable with the kids. You have younger brothers, and your mom's also in education.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that with John. Like John said, I do have a little brother, and I help coach a lot of kids in the off-season, so I'm always around younger kids, and I had a lot of fun with the kids out here, and it was nice because I do miss my little brothers and my family at home, so it was fun to be out there.
Your mom is a high school teacher.
No, actually, she was a kindergarten and first grade teacher, and then she's since moved into more of the administration, and last I talked to her, I think she might be retiring here pretty soon. I'm not sure, though. You never know. She always says it, but I don't know if she's serious or not this time.
Matt, I know getting to know you on those player appearances, you also had great memories of your dad and all the special things he did with you and for you. And I wondered if you could describe how far he went in terms of making sure you got your swings in every day.
My dad's just about the best dad in the world, and he was always there. He's always been there for me, and he throws great batting practice to me. When I was in 7th grade, my parents moved to Scottsdale so I could go to the high school that I went to, and they built me a batting cage in our backyard, and we have pitching mounds back there, and anytime I needed some swings, my dad would come home from work at lunch and throw to me, and he's always been there to throw to me. He threw to me so much that he's actually torn his Tommy John ligament, but he still keeps trying to throw to me, and the relationship I have with my dad is probably the best thing I've gotten out of baseball.
Thanks for describing that, Matt. You mentioned that he built you a batting cage. My dad got a basketball net put up in our driveway for us. Building a batting cage is a little bit of a stiffer challenge or undertaking. Did he get the fence himself and assemble it all, or did he have some help from construction workers? And is the cage, was it regulation 60 feet 6 inches?
If I remember correctly, my dad made me pay for a lot of it out of my savings, which was a good thing because I didn't want to waste that money that I had spent. I spent a lot of money on it, and we ordered it from a company, and then I think some guys came over and had to help us put it up. I mean, it's still standing there today, and we had some storms that kind of messed up a little bit, but it's a 70-foot cage. It's just huge. It's as big as you can get them for your backyard, and it's awesome.
You might have been the most popular kid in your neighborhood.
Yeah, we always had people over there, and this off season we put lights up in it, so my little brothers, we're out there a lot. My mom's always yelling at us to keep it down because we're making noise, but it's about as good a backyard as you could get for a kid.
A real field of dreams out in the Phoenix area. Matt Abram on this Memorial Day talking with us on the dugout interview. He'll get the start at second base, and we'll see how he thinks he and his Colonel mates will approach big leaguer Ryan Dempster. He's on the hill for Lansing this afternoon. We'll do that when we return on the dugout interview. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Quiznos Kernels Kids Club members. Did you know that your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card is good for more than just great deals at the ballpark? That's right. By showing your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card at any of the Cedar Rapids Quiznos, you'll receive a free small drink when you buy a Quiznos sub. That's a free small drink with the purchase of a Quiznos sub when you show your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club card.
Quiznos, toasty.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Well, Matt, how about it? Are the guys pretty psyched up, or do they truly look at it as just another opportunity, another game? It's not often you do get to face a guy who's won 15 games just a couple of years ago in the big leagues, Ryan Dempster.
Oh, is that who we're facing today? Oh, I didn't know. I'm just kidding. We've always been kind of looking forward to it, and some guys are different than other guys. I don't really care. It's just another guy who's going to throw it over the plate. I'd actually rather face him because he's probably got better control, and I like to swing a lot of pitches, so hopefully he'll be around to the plate, and I can run my bat into one of his pitches. But, anytime you face anybody like that, it's always an opportunity, and it's something fun when, we're sitting in the clubhouse watching games on TV, and you can be like, hey, I faced that guy, so... hopefully we can say we faced that guy and we beat that guy today, so that'd be nice.
It sure would. I remember Kevin Ham back in Rockford in '97, Matt getting a hit off Kevin Tapney, and those are the things you don't forget. Well, finally, Matt, with the College World Series approaching in the month of June over in Omaha, I overheard you say what a stark contrast you learned of. You played in a terrific college baseball league, the Pac-12, and you played at Arizona. You played against USC, Arizona State, the University of Washington, UCLA, and then you were drafted and started your pro career in rookie ball, and I wanted us to finish up this afternoon by you telling us the difference in what you saw.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know what to expect when I went into rookie ball, but I'd always grown up in Arizona, so I'd seen a lot of college baseball, and I thought, that was a really high level of baseball. And as I was telling John the other day, it's playing in the Pac-10 was a great level of competition, but when I got into rookie ball, it was like, oh my gosh, this is not even. I mean, the level of competition it got raised like 8 levels all of a sudden, And even a couple of years ago when I went back and watched my best friend win the College World Series, the level of competition that we have here in the minor leagues, people say, oh, you're in the minor leagues. Well, it's a heck of an accomplishment to be here. And, because our team would just take apart some of those college teams. And, you just don't think it would be that way. But the level of competition that we have here and the level of play that we play at is, it's an exceptional level to be at.
Matt, thanks so much for painting that contrast. Wonderful to have you with us on Memorial Day, Matt Abram, as we bring the curtain down on this 11-game homestand. We want you to enjoy a $5 meal at any of our Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses. Matt, I'm sure you can grab some of that before we load up on one of our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach commuters down to Burlington in the next 4 days. Matt Abram, thank you.
Thanks a lot, John. Thanks for having me up there.
Matt Abram, our dugout interview guest. We do conclude our 4-game series with Lansing. We are facing a big leaguer, and we are fortunate to be playing on a beautiful Memorial Day afternoon. The last game of an 11-game Kernel homestand. Starting lineups are next. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Most of us have been in a situation before in buying an automobile where what we owe is more than what our vehicle is worth. And sometimes it's thousands of dollars. There is a better way to put yourself in a better position when it comes to value, quality, and reliability. Put yourself into an industry-leading Honda automobile from Randy Kill Honda. The Odyssey minivan boasts being #1 in safety and the #1 minivan on the market for the last 5 years. The Honda Accord leads the way in safety and has made the Car and Driver's Top 10 list more than any other car in history. The Pilot topped the SUV categories in its first year out and remains a class leader. And the CR-V continues leading in its class since its arrival in 1997. The subcompact Element is so functional and practical, they're selling as fast as they arrive. So doesn't it make sense to get the best value in the market at Randy Keel Honda? Great folks to deal with, too, and #1 when it comes to getting you the best price. The home of confidence is Randy Keel Honda, Centerpoint Road, or on the web at randykeel.com.
Greetings from the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Kernels concluding a 4-game series with the Lansing Lugnuts, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, and the storyline in this afternoon's contest will be facing 27-year-old former Midwest League right-hander from the Kane County Cougars, big leaguer Ryan Dempster. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon, and the Kernels hope to make it a astounding homestand. We've already made it a good homestand, 7 wins in the 10 home games. The Kernels start play this afternoon tied for first in the Western Division first half standings with Peoria. Both of our clubs are 29-20. Kane County 28-20 will complete a suspended game from last night, and then the Cougars will be playing a regular game against the South Bend Silverhawks. Good-sized crowd as we would expect on Memorial Day here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. No better way to spend time with family and friends than the wholesome, affordable, fun family entertainment we have in store here this afternoon. Let's set the starting lineups for Julio Garcia in his 4th year skippering the Lansing Lugnuts. They're 3.5 games back of the South Bend Silverhawks in the Eastern Division first half race. Chris Walker, the league's leading base stealer, a switch hitter, will lead it off for Lansing. He's in center field. The shortstop at second for the Lugnuts, Carlos Rojas. Hitting third, tied with our own Matt Brown for second in the league with 11 home runs, Brian Doperick at first base. The left fielder bats cleanup for the Lugnuts, Kevin Collins. Kevin is tops in the league with 14 home runs, and he's hitting .333. Batting fifth for the Lugnuts is Carlos Mejia in right field. Robinson Chirinos, tied with our own Quan Cosby for the league in triples with 6, is at second base, batting 6th. That's Robinson Chirinos. Catching for the Lugnuts on this Memorial Day is Alan Rick, and Rick will hit 7th. Batting 8th at third base, Drew Larson. He hit a pair of 2-run homers in Saturday night's Lansing 9-3 victory over the Kernels. Larson at the hot corner bat. Eighth and batting ninth, the DH, Alberto Garcia, playing in just his 9th game. Pitching for the Lugnuts this afternoon is Ryan Dempster. Last year with the Reds, he was 3-7 in 20 starts with a 6.54 ERA. Originally taken in the 3rd round by the Texas Rangers, Ryan Dempster has pitched in the big leagues for the Florida Marlins, the Reds, and now he's on the comeback trail trying to help the Cubs out with their depleted pitching staff. Dempster's major league totals, 50 wins, 55 losses, and he broke into the big leagues with a 7-8 record, or a 1-5 record rather, with Florida back in 1998. Ryan Dempster, a big leaguer, a right-hander pitching for Lansing this afternoon. Allen Motor Company is proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Going on right now at Allen's, their 101st year birthday bash. That means if you buy now at Allen's, your first year's maintenance is on them. Only at Allen's during their 101st year birthday bash is your first year's maintenance on them. 2004 Buick LeSabre start at just $19,995. That's a savings of $6,000 at Allen's during their 101st year birthday bash. 2004 GMC Sierra extended cab 4x4s are priced at a savings of $7,000 right now during Allen's 101st year birthday bash. Allen Motor Company, proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Nick Kimpton's in center field, and he'll lead it off. Batting second, the designated hitter, 3rd in the league with a .341 average, Howie Kendrick. The Kernel shortstop will bat 3rd. That's Brandon Wood. Brandon's been red hot. He's hit safely in 13 of his last 17 games. Batting cleanup in the Allen Motor Company order and catching Bobby Wilson. Bobby's hit safely in 17 of his last 18 games. His .328 average, 7th best in the league. Third baseman Matt Brown will bat 5th. Matt leads the league in RBIs with 41. Hitting 6th in the Allen Motor Company order, playing left field today, is Matt Pauley. At first base, batting 7th, Caleb Mayer. Hitting 8th in the Allen Motor Company order in right field, Blake Balcom. And batting 9th at second base, our dugout interview guest, Matt Abram. Abram making his first start of the season at second base. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, he's been untouchable in his last 3 appearances. 22-year-old lefty Nick Touchstone. Nick is 1-1, an ERA of 2.22. Nick Touchstone last pitched Tuesday here at home against Dayton. 7 scoreless innings, a no decision, and a Kernel 2-1 loss to the Dragons. In that outing Tuesday here at home, Touchstone 7 innings pitched, no runs, only 3 hits. He struck out 11. He walked 1. The game was scoreless going into the 9th inning, and the Kernels lost it 2-1. Nick Touchstone, 1-1 on the year, making his 5th start. In his last 3 outings, 17 innings pitched, no runs, 4 hits, 18 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's been phenomenal. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is now proud to present the Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring crew. Chris Bakke will work the balls and strikes. He's behind home plate, and former big league umpire Bob Davidson working the diamond. Anderson and Brown Eye Care reminds you that a team of umpires has to focus on getting the calls right. That ability to focus is an absolute necessity for our umpires. Anderson and Brown Eye Care can help make sure your eyes focus properly for the everyday calls you have to make. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, your family eye care center, proud to present our umpiring duo, Chris Bakke behind the plate and Bob Davidson on the diamond. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members have taken the field. They're standing out on the diamond, waiting for the Kernels to trot out there with them. It's a beautiful, sunshiny Monday afternoon, and the Kernels hope to make a big splash against right-hander Ryan Dempster. Ryan last pitched in a rehab situation Wednesday at Oldsmobile Park in Lansing. He pitched 3 scoreless innings against the West Michigan Whitecaps Wednesday, allowed 2 hits in 3 innings, fanned 5, walked none, no decision in a Lugnut 3-1 win. Ryan Dempster, 50 and 55 lifetime, but a big winner with the Marlins in the year 2000 and 2001. In those 2 seasons combined, he went 29 and 22. Ryan Dempster was originally taken by Texas in the third round back in '95, but he was traded by the Rangers to the Florida Marlins for John Burkett and Rick Helling. And Ryan Dempster's 27 years old. The Kernels have popped out of their first base dugout. We wore our red knit batting practice tops to a win yesterday, 7-3. The Kernels in their all-white uniforms with red numbers trimmed in black, navy blue caps with red bills, and the Kernels are about to take the field to join their Cost Cutters Dream Team members out on the diamond. Marcia Hughes is standing right behind home plate, right behind Colonel catcher Bobby Wilson. Marcia Hughes is going to be introduced as our national anthem singer here on Memorial Day. Let's pause right now to join the public address system for a moment of silence.
For all veterans of previous wars, especially for the men and women serving in the armed forces at home and around the world, particularly in the troubled spots of the world right now, Afghanistan and Iraq.
A moment of silence being observed here before Marcia Hughes sings the national anthem as we remember those who gave their lives to protect our freedom.
Many soldiers have made great sacrifices for our freedom and our American flag. Please stand and pay tribute to our flag as we present our national anthem.
Now would you join in singing of the national anthem that's being performed today by Marcia Hughes. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wonderful job singing the national anthem by Marcia Hughes. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are now leaving the diamond, and we're set to wrap up a 4-game series with the Class A affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, the Lansing Lugnuts. It's the final game of a Colonel 11-game homestand that has seen the Kernels win 7 and lose 3. The first place Kernels in Lansing are next. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. The Freedom Festival Great Cardboard Boat Regatta is Sunday, June 27th. Your mission is to build a boat from cardboard capable of racing the course 3 times. Cardboard courtesy of Warehouser is at the Stickle Warehousing parking lot, 308 29th Street Northeast. The Great Cardboard Boat Regatta, part of the Cedar Rapids Freedom Festival, June 24th through July 4th. Further instructions for this mission are online at www.freedomfestival.com. This recording will get very wet.
Look around you. Everyone's different. Some of us are tall, many of us are short. If you think about it, there are many important differences among people. That's what makes us all individuals. Insurance needs are individual, too. Talk to your Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets, Forrest, Draper Insurance in Marion, about the proper insurance coverages for your individual needs. See Scott Draper at Sheets, Forrest, Draper in Marion about insurance for your home, auto, life, health, or business. You can depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
What a beautiful sunny afternoon. The wind is blowing out towards right center as the Kernels take on the Lansing Lugnuts. Nick Touchstone with a record of 1-1, making his 5th start of the year, unscored upon in his last 17 innings. Nick is a 6'5" 22-year-old southpaw taken by Anaheim in the 18th round of the 2002 draft. Touchstone has pitched 28 1/3 innings as a Kernel, given up just 19 hits, fanned 30 batters in 28 1/3, walked 14, and an ERA of 2.22. Nick Touchstone is set to go, and striding to the plate is switch-hitting Chris Walker. Chris leads the league in steals with 25. He's been caught 9 times. He's batting .281, a homer, 16 RBIs. Chris Walker is 3 for 12 in this series, a 2-out RBI single in the third, or a 2-out RBI single tied the game at 3 in the second inning yesterday. The game's first pitch is down and away, according to the plate umpire Chris Bakke. We're underway in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium on Memorial Day. Walker, a open stance, a wide stance, and Chris pulls the bat back and takes ball 2 just inside. Chris Walker, .282 batter, league leader in steals. Way in on the grass at third is Matt Brown. A strike on the outside corner as Walker again faked a bunt. Chris from Georgia Southern, a Cubs 6th-round draft pick in 2002. He's 23 years old. And he hits a one-hop bullet to the feet of the shortstop, and Brandon Wood on to first to get Chris Walker. Chris Walker hit a one-hop bullet right at the feet of Wood, and Brandon winged it across the diamond to Caleb Mayer, 1 gone here in the top of the first inning. As a team, Lansing's hitting .251. That's 8th in a 14-team Midwest League. The Lugnuts have pounded out 44 home runs. This is their 51st game of the first half. Their 44 home runs, 3rd highest in the league. The Kernels lead the league in homers with 53. A slider up in the zone, and Carlos Rojas swung through it, strike 1. Carlos, nothing for 4 yesterday, hit by a pitch in the 8th inning. He's a right-handed batter from Venezuela. And he hits one right through the box. It deflects off the leg of Nick Touchstone into the second baseman, Matt Abram. Abram throws the batter out. I think that ball hit Nick Touchstone in the left shin. He's not limping. Perhaps it just glanced off his left, or his right leg. He reaches down and just moves his pant leg a little further down his ankle. We'll have to check with the official scorer. Rojas, for right now, will say he's out 4-3, Abram to Mayer, but that ball may have hit Nick Touchstone. If it did, he's not showing any ill effects of it. Brian Doperik, a tall 6'5" right-handed hitter, fouls one up onto the grandstand roof. Brian Doperik drew a leadoff walk in the 6th. Yesterday, he was 0 for 2. Ball 1 high and away. Doperik hitting .270, 11 homers, tied with Matt Brown in that department, and 32 runs driven in for Brian Doperik. He stands straight away from the right side. Cubs 2nd-round pick in 2002, and a cut fastball down and in. Doperik swung and missed, strike 2. The wind is blowing out at about 18 to 20 miles an hour. Right over the 403 sign is where the flagpole is here. And Brian Doperik is down in the count, 1-2. He whistles one foul straight back. Doperik hitting .270. In this series, Brian is 3 for 11. Doperik hit .240 with Boise last year, 13 home runs in just 52 games. A lollipop curve is high and outside, and Nick Touchstone has evened the count to number 22, Brian Doperik, who steps out. It's Matt Pauley in left this afternoon, Nick Kimpton in center, and Blake Balcom in right. A gorgeous, delightful Memorial Day. A curve, and that one is waited on and then served on the ground foul, pass first into the Kernel right field bullpen. Down the line here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium in left, 315, a 16-foot high wall that takes you up to the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left. Doperic hits a high, deep drive to left. Matt Pauley is there in front of the warning track and has it. Brian Doperic hit a high fly ball to deep left to end the Lansing first inning. Nick Touchstone now has recorded his 18th consecutive scoreless inning. And after one half inning, with 27-year-old Major Leaguer Ryan Dempster going to the hill, it's Lansing nothing. The Kernels coming to bat, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
When searching for a professional logistics team of experts to handle your warehousing operations, look to Worley Warehousing. Worley Warehousing will help you achieve greater efficiencies by providing superior warehouse facilities, technological advancements, and expert professionals. By focusing on technological innovations and keen foresight, Worley Warehousing has grown into one of our nation's leading warehousing operations. Worley Warehousing, your single source for all of your warehousing and distribution needs.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
Get the key to buying and selling your next vehicle with the Corridor edition of Wheels for You. This automotive publication is available in over 400 locations near you every other Friday. Pick up your free copy today and put yourself in the driver's seat with Wheels for You. Call 800-397-8234 to place your ad today or visit us online at www.corridorwheelsforyou.com. Wheels for You, a publication of Gazette Communications.
Ryan Dempster, a big leaguer who has 50 wins to his credit, is on the hill for Lansing this afternoon. The first thing you notice about Ryan, he's not particularly tall, but he has very broad shoulders. And he's pitching bare-armed. He's in a Lansing Lugnut uniform, and the Cubs may very well need him later this year with all the injuries they've had to both their pitching staff and their regular lineup. A fastball from Dempster is high and away, ball one to Nick Kimpton. Nick hitting .304, batting lead-off in the Allen Motor Company Colonel order. Nick pops one foul off to the left, strike one. Ryan Dempster, 3 scoreless innings in a rehab start against West Michigan in the state capital of Michigan, Lansing, last Wednesday night. He's expected to go 3 or 4 innings here this afternoon. Kimpton pops another one foul off to the left, and Nick's in the hole 1-2. Nick didn't play yesterday, but he played in the first 2 games of this series and is 4 for 8. Nick Kimpton, 20 years old from Australia. Taking a trip down off the backside of the slope is Ryan Dempster. Bobby Magallanes said on the Ask the Manager show Friday evening, the one thing the Kernels could expect from Dempster was to be around the plate. Good control. Kimpton pumps one high and deep but foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion down the left field line. Kimpton, Kendrick, and Wood to face the big leaguer Ryan Dempster here in the opening frame. No score. Chris Walker played around way into left center, and a slider's low and in, ball 2 to Nick Kimpton. Matt Abram told us on the dugout interview how much the Kernels were looking forward to this challenge of facing a big leaguer who broke in with Florida back in 1998. The 2-2 to Kimpton. Look out, he had to skip the rope to get out of the way, ball 3. Dempster wears number 44. And could the Cubs use he and Mark Pryor with Kerry Wood on the sidelines, Todd Wellmeyer. Kimpton makes it difficult on the seasoned big league veteran as Nick pops another one foul off to the left. And if Ryan Dempster's on a pitch count, well, he's already thrown 9 or 10 pitches to Nick Kimpton. The count remains full to the Colonel leadoff man, left-handed batter Nick Kimpton, 7 steals and 8 tries. A high fly ball into deep center. Back goes Chris Walker. He had him played perfectly into left center, and Nick Kimpton with a dynamite first bat winds up fouling to Ryan Dempster by dying to center. One away in the Kernels first, no score. Howie Kendrick, the batter. Howie third in the league with a .341 average, 4 homers, 23 RBIs. Kendrick is second in the league in hits, second in the league in runs scored. And he jackhammers one foul up into the rafters of the first base stands. Good-sized crowd on hand here. That's what you would expect on a holiday with the temperature in the low 70s. Here's a drive into left center, and Walker on the run has it. Oh, Howie Kendrick got good wood on it, hit it right on the nose, but lined out to left center. Chris Walker had to get on his horse and gallop over to his right, and he made the catch in left center field. 2 well-hit balls by the Kernels here in the bottom of the first inning, but nothing to show for it. Brandon Wood strides to the plate. Brandon was nursing a sore left wrist throughout this homestand, but he was back in the Kernel lineup yesterday. He drove in a run, he walked twice, and he scored. A slider from the Lansing right-hander is inside. Ball 1 to Brandon Wood. He's hitting .283. Line drive, and it's caught at the shoe tops of the shortstop, Carlos Rojas. Brandon Wood, 19 years old, facing the 27-year-old Dempster, lines out to short, and the Kernels hit the ball hard, but did not get a runner aboard in the bottom of the first inning against Ryan Dempster. After one inning, it's the Kernels and Lansing scoreless, and you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Been looking to buy a used car, truck, or van? If so, head to Select Auto now. All vehicles are priced to sell with bottom line pricing. Monthly bills getting you down? Can't afford the car of your dreams? No problem. Select Auto offers payment plans to fit around your budget. Select Auto also offers great warranties on all cars, not to mention their experienced and friendly staff in their full-service service department. Hate being chased around the lot by those annoying salespeople? At Select Auto, you won't be bothered by any salespeople. You deal directly with the owners. Got bad credit? Not a problem. They offer financing for any credit, good or bad. Still not sold? Purchase any used car over $5,000 and get $200 in free gas. Hurry in. This deal only lasts during the month of May. What are you waiting for? Visit either of Select Auto's 2 convenient locations on 1st Avenue downtown Cedar Rapids or on 7th Avenue in Marion. Select Auto, a great way to buy a pre-owned car.
Unless you have a crystal ball that really works, nobody can foresee all the risks that might become realities. Most of us don't have a foolproof crystal ball, though. That's why it's sensible to consider the calamities that might occur to your car, home, business, or life, and insure yourself against the worst. See Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent, about a well-planned insurance program for your individual needs. The future is uncertain. See your Pekin insurance agent, Phil Andrews, at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency.
6'5" southpaw Nick Touchstone extended his scoreless inning streak to 18 when he set Lansing down in order in the top of the first. Nick will face left-handed hitting Kevin Collins. The Kernels kept Collins in check yesterday in our 7-3 victory. 0 for 4 was the left-handed batter, struck out 3 times. Kevin Collins is 4 for 13 in this series. Collins 5th in the league with a .333 average, leads the league with 14 home runs. Kevin has driven in 39 runs. In 89 games with Lansing last year, Kevin hit .225. First pitch of the second inning is a knee-buckling curve, and Chris Bakke thought about calling it a strike, but then said no, a little bit higher inside. Top of the second, no score. The Kernel pitching staff ranks 7th in the league. That's right in the middle of the 14-team league. A curveball rolls off the table, and that's a strike. 1-1 to Kevin Collins. Stands straight away from the left side and looks at a fastball on the outside corner at the knees. Strike 2. The Kernel infield has Matt Brown at third, Brandon Wood at short, Matt Abram at second. Matt's on the edge of the outfield grass. Caleb Mayer at first, a slow curve, a swing and a miss, and picking the ball up, missing the batter with a tag, but then throwing to first is Bobby Wilson. Kevin Collins strikes out, 1 out here in the second inning. Our talk with Bob Brooks earlier on this homestand We've lamented that there are no more doubleheaders in the big leagues on Memorial Day, but there's plenty of afternoon action. They're already in the top of the 7th at Turner Field in Atlanta on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Expos and Braves are tied 2-2. Carlos Mejia strokes one the other way, out of play to the right, strike one. Our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Dale Thompson. Al Shetler, Gary Shubat, and here's a ground ball diving try by Matt Brown at third. It's a base hit. Carlos Mejia hit it hard on the ground, and he's aboard with a one-out single here in the second inning. State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, Lanny Peterson, and Al Shetler. They're in the bottom of the third in Philadelphia. The Mets on top of the Phils 1-0. Later this afternoon, the Reds and Marlins play in Miami. The Cubs host Houston at Wrigley Field. It's the Brewers and Dodgers in Los Angeles. The Cards take on the Pirates at PNC Park later today. Tonight in the National League, San Francisco and the Diamondbacks in Phoenix, and it's the Rockies and Padres at Petco Park in San Diego. Ball one is downstairs to Robinson Chirinos, right-handed batter who steps out. We'll give you the American League lowdown in here in just a moment. 1 on, 1 out, top of the second, no score. A throw to first, and Mejia, no steals in one try, back standing up. Robinson Chirinos, a 2-run homer in the second yesterday. Then he drew a leadoff walk in the ninth. He is 3 for 12 in the series, hitting .234 with 5 homers, 21 driven in. Swing and a miss on a tailing fastball high and away. And that evens the count 1-1 to Robinson, who steps out again. Chirinos played as a Lugnut last year, hit .232 in 108 games. 7 homers, 39 RBIs. He stands straight away from the right side, uses a black lacquer bat, stands straight up just like a stiff board. And a throw to first, the runner just got back, according to the former big league umpire who's nestled in between the mound and second, Bob Davidson. Bob is wearing a navy blue pullover jacket, has his sleeves rolled up above his elbows. You can tell he's really enjoying being back in pro baseball. Beautiful curveball. It's a strike call, the 1-2 to Robinson Chirinos. In the American League at Fenway Park, they're already in the top of the 6th. The Orioles 3, the Red Sox nothing. Top of the 7th at Comerica Park, the Tigers lead Kansas City 6-3. Is the runner going? No. Curve, double play ball to Brandon Wood. He feeds Abram for one. Matt to first. Safe. It wasn't hit quite hard enough. Brandon Wood did a fabulous job on that worm burner, forcing Mejia 6-4, and then our dugout interview guest Matt Abrams said he would do his very best at second base. He hasn't played that position in almost 3 years, and the only thing that he could improve upon is getting the ball from the glove to the throwing hand, but hey, that takes thousands upon thousands of repetitions, and Howie Kendrick and Sean Rodriguez have those thousands of repetitions under their belt. Matt Abram does not as a catcher, first baseman, third baseman, DH. But he told us he'll play anywhere on the field on the diamond as long as he's in the lineup. So Robinson Chirinos reaches on a fielder's choice. It was close at first. Bob Davidson's call could have gone the Kernels' way just as easily. Adam Rick, a left-handed hitting catcher, waits for the first pitch. Instead, a throw to first, and diving back in just in time, Chirinos. 1 on, 2 out, top of the second. No score, Kernels and Lugnuts. Lansing's record 29-20. The Kernel mark 29. Lansing 29-21. The Kernels 29-20. There's that sharp yellow hammer from Nick Touchstone, and it's strike one call to Alan Rick, the left-handed hitting catcher. In the American League, oh, brother, how would you like to be in the Metrodome this afternoon? Memorial Day and you're watching a baseball game indoors? That's what's happening up in Minneapolis. Ooh, a fastball. Just missed, apparently, inside 1-1. Alan Rick. They're playing indoor baseball in Minneapolis, and an indoor team, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, lead the Twins 2-1 in the bottom of the third. Tonight, Toronto and Seattle at Safeco Field. Touchstone's 1-1, a Yellowhammer. This one just a little bit low, and stepping out is Alan Rick. Alan didn't play yesterday. He's 1 for 8 in this series. Alan Rick, just 20 years old, 4th round pick by the Cubs in 2002. Tall, left-handed batter. They list him at 6'3", 220. A throw to first, and back standing up safely is Robinson Chirinos. John Campbell from TV9. There's no holidays for a award-winning sportscaster like John Campbell. He's down below filming the action. Uh-oh, here's a line shot foul by by less than 3 feet into the right field corner. That would have made it 1-0 Lansing. Alan Rick narrowly missed a 2-out RBI extra base hit. Sun shining brightly, big white billowing cotton ball-like clouds above. The wind is pushing them from left to right. A majestic, picturesque Memorial Day afternoon, and we're glad you're with us. Whether you're out doing some yard work or relaxing, or maybe look out! A pitch up and in, and it struck the batter. Boy, he waited a long time. He must have thought it was a curveball. It was not a curveball. Alan Rick is hit by a pitch, and the go-ahead run to second. Robinson Chirinos. Rick is okay. He got his hands up in front of his chin and deflected that pitch up and in from Nick Touchstone. Maybe this afternoon you're taking some time to wash your car or clean out your garage. But we're glad you're tuned in on the Zone for Kernel Baseball. 2 on, 2 out for Drew Larson. A high pop foul over the Kernel first base dugout, strike 1. Drew Larson broke a 3-3 tie here on Saturday night with a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. He was 1 for 4. He singled in the 9th inning yesterday. Larson has 4 hits and 13 at bats. He's only hitting 177, but he's been a big thorn in our side in this series. A curveball looked awfully good from here, but the plate umpire called it ball 1. The plate umpire is Chris Backe, B-A-C-C-E. Lansing in their Atlanta Brave road-like uniforms. That is their gray with red numbers, red and black stripes. Red batting helmets with black bills. A curve and a swing and a miss. That was a big league breaking pitch by Nick Touchstone, and now Drew Larson steps out. He bashed 2 2-run homers, helping the Lugnuts to victory here on Saturday night. He's from Salt Lake Community College, a 9th-round pick by the Cubs in 2003. 21 years old, a right-handed batter. Drew Larson. Nick chokes the curveball off, and it's high and away for ball 2. Yeah, back in the 60s and 70s when I was growing up, virtually every game on Memorial Day was a day game, a doubleheader. 2 on, 2 out to 2-2. Uh-oh, a deep drive to right. Black goes Blake Balcom. He looks up. He did it again. A 3-run homer. Drew Larson owns the Kernels. He's batting 177, and he hits his 3rd home run of the series. Wow, will the Kernels long remember the light-hitting 3rd baseman, Drew Larson. He hit one over the Tri-Vision signs in right, and Lansing leads it 3-0. Ooh, if we could have that double play ball back, we'd have been out of the inning. But we missed by a whisker, then we hit a batter, and then a 3-run homer. That's baseball. It's a game of inches. Alberto Garcia, playing in his 9th game as a Lugnut, swings and misses, strike 1. Well, at least Nick Touchstone can say the pressure's off. His scoreless inning streak lasted 17 2/3 innings. Boy, oh boy, we cannot figure out how to pitch to Drew Larson. The rest of the league has. He's hitting 177. But he's hit 3 home runs, and now, by virtue of his home runs, he's driven in 7 runs in this series. 7 of his 12 RBIs are in this series. Swing and a miss by the number 9 hitter. Now a fastball high. Oh, brother, who would have ever expected Drew Larson, a guy hitting under 200, to hit 3 home runs in this series? A drive foul off to the right up on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Keeps the number 9 hitter Alberto Garcia in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A curve, and that one is lifted into shallow center. Kimpton coming on to make the catch. Nick Kimpton hustled in to make the one-handed grab. The Colonel failure to turn a double play and a hit batsman cost us 3 runs in the second inning. In the second inning, 3 runs for Lansing on 2 base hits. There were no Colonel errors, and the Lugnuts leave the bases empty. Well, the Colonels have proven all spring long that they can play catch-up, and we hit Ryan Dempster hard to no avail in the first inning. No need to press the panic button. After an inning and a half, Lansing leads the Colonels 3-0, and you're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Is Tim Kirkchin a metrosexual? Have you ever waxed your body hair?
Absolutely not.
Do you moisturize daily?
No.
Does a gay man ever hit on you?
Yes.
Do you like it? Tim Kirkchin's grade. Golick was an 8. I was a 29. Your score is a 10, which means you are a possible future metrosexual.
Closer to Golick.
Can I tell you what you were 1 point away from in the 0 through 9 point range? The first line would have been stud. You're a manly man.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
Rev it up! Get the key to buying and selling your next vehicle with a Corridor edition of Wheels for You. This automotive publication is available in over 400 locations near you every other Friday. Pick up your free copy today and put yourself in the driver's seat with Wheels for You. Call 800-397-8234 to place your ad today or visit us online at www.corridorwheelsforyou.com. Wheels for You, a publication of Gazette Communications.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Bobby Wilson grounds one through the left side off the diving third baseman's mitt into shallow left center. Bobby will try for 2. No. He hustles back to first, a wide turn, and Bobby Wilson continues to be absolutely awesome as a hitter. He's now hit safely in 18 of his last 19 games. Bobby Wilson adds to his .328 average as he grounded one through the hole on the left side. The third baseman, Drew Larson, with the 3-run homer in the top of the second inning, dove, got a piece of it, but then it trickled into left center. Bobby Wilson thought about going to second, but he held on. Matt Brown at the plate to face Ryan Dempster. And a fastball up and in to the Colonel slugger, hitting .247, team leader in homers with 11, league leader in RBIs with 41, Matt Brown. Brownie didn't play yesterday. He's 0 for 6 in the series, a right-handed batter. Ball 2 is upstairs from Ryan Dempster. Matt Brown in his last 14 games, 8 homers, 23 RBIs. Good-sized crowd here. And the sun is shining brightly. What a way to end an 11-game homestand. Strike one call, the 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the Lugnut right-hander. I don't know why or how the Cincinnati Reds let this guy go. He had reconstructive elbow surgery. Of course, Cincinnati's doing very well. They're ahead of the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Astros in the NL Central. Strike 2 call, the slider at the knees. Count even to Matt Brown, 2-2. Ryan Dempster paid his dues. He spent 3+ years in the minor leagues toiling. A slider low and away, and Matt Brown is full on the count. A 3-run homer by Drew Larson. One thing, if a guy you expect to hit home runs does it against you, but Larson has hit 3 of them in this series, and he's driven in 9 runs via those home runs. 3-0 Lansing, bottom of the second inning. Looping one foul just to our right and down below is Matt Brown. The count remains full to the Colonel third baseman. Remember, the All-Star Game's coming up June 22nd. Give our ticket office a call and be a part of that special event, 896-7560. 896-7560, All-Star Game tickets. Ball 4! more downstairs. The Kernels have their first two on. Remember, we hit the ball very hard in the bottom of the first inning against Dempster. And now Matt Pauley will have a chance to either advance the runners or, better yet, take a bite out of this 3-0 Lugnut lead here in the bottom of the second inning. The Kernels lead the league in home runs and stolen bases. That's quite a combination in this modern day of baseball. Ooh, Matt Pauley couldn't lay off a fastball above the letters. He swung and tipped it foul into the mid of catcher Alan Rick, strike one. A letter-high fastball, strike two to Matt Pauley. Matt hitting .293, 3 homers, 25 RBIs, left-handed batter. Matt tripled in a run and scored in the Kernels' 2-run 6th inning yesterday. Pauley 2 for 12 in the series. Look out, a pitch inside, and it hit him. It hit him, and then it hit his bat, then it hit the catcher, and the bases are loaded for Caleb Mayer. Oh, the last thing Ryan Dempster wanted to do, protecting a 3-0 lead and ahead of Matt Pauley, 0-2, was hit him. The ball rode up and in on Pauley. Matt drew his arms back towards his chest. The ball hit him, then it hit his bat. Then it struck the catcher, Alan Rick.
First baseman, Caleb Mayer.
Caleb Mayer with a thrill of a lifetime, a chance to drive in a run or two against a big leaguer. Bases loaded, nobody out. A tap back to the mound. Dempster throws home, out, throw to first, double play. I'll be darn. A 1-2-3 double play. Oh, brother, does that ever take the wind out of the sails of the Kernels? Caleb Mayer tapped it right back to the hill. It went 1, 2, 3. And that's why Ryan Dempster is a big leaguer. He knew just what to throw to Caleb Mayer to get that easy double play. Well, perhaps Blake Balcom can pick the Kernels up and help the Kernels make something of this big opportunity in the second inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, and a tap back to the mound for a double play. Now strike one called to Blake Balcom. He's hitting .267, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. On the double play, Matt Brown went to third, Matt Pauley up to second. Ooh, if we had that pitch back again to Caleb. But you can't do that, can you? Swing and a miss by Blake on a curveball, strike two. 3-0 Lansing, bottom of the second inning. Billy Petrick, P-E-T-R-I-C-K, will piggyback the efforts of Ryan Dempster this afternoon. Billy Petrick will come on and pitch in the 4th or 5th inning. Swing and a miss by Blake. Moments ago, the Kernels had the bases loaded, nobody out. Now, we're out in the second inning, having not scored a run. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, a hit batter, no Lansing errors, a double play, and the Kernels leave a pair. Big opportunity, and you have to tip your cap to Ryan Dempster. He knew just what to do to get out of that bases loaded, nobody out quandary. After 2, the Lugnuts lead the Kernels 3-0. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
Renowned for his blazing fastball, Iowa's Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller earned the nickname Rapid Robert. The baseball immortal performed miraculous feats no matter which name he was called. The same holds true for Banks Heating and Air Conditioning. They're now known as Comfort Solutions by Banks. The new name, Comfort Solutions by Banks, brings with it the same quality and dependability you've counted on for years. Receive up to a $1,000 rebate or up to a 10-year extended warranty with the purchase of qualifying Dave Lennox Signature Collection home comfort systems from Comfort Solutions by Banks. Offer expires May 31st, 2004. Lennox, making your home a better place. Lennox dealers include independently owned and operated businesses. See your participating Lennox dealer, Comfort Solutions by Banks, for details.
Top of the order for the Lugnuts, top of the third inning on Memorial Day. And on Memorial Day, Kaylee White, a 6-year-old, just had the thrill of her spring. She was our Culver small fry. She was marched out to the diamond and got the autograph of Colonel second baseman Matt Abram. Your son or daughter can register for their chance to take the field as the Culver small fry by visiting either of the Culver's frozen custard or Butterburger and Butterburger restaurants. Ball one low to the leadoff batter, Chris Walker, here in the top of the third. He smacks one over the head of the third baseman on one hop. Matt Brown was playing in, and Chris Walker will likely test the pickoff move of Nick Touchstone and the throwing abilities of Bobby Wilson, the league's leading base stealer. Wrapped one hard on the ground, and it catapulted over the head of Matt Brown into left for a leadoff single. The Culver small fry gets to take the field between innings of a Colonel game and have their favorite Colonel player autograph their Culver's cap, and then Mr. Shucks gives the Culver small fry a certificate good for a free kids meal at Culver's. You can register your daughter or son for that very opportunity by stopping into either of the two Culver's frozen custard and Butterburger restaurants. One right across from Allen Motor Company in Hiawatha, the other on the southwest side in front of the Windsong 12 Theater Complex. A throw to first, and Chris Walker dives back safely. Second inning, 2 out, 3-run homer over the right field fence by Drew Larson has taken Lansing to a 3-0 lead. Walker a big lead at first. He's not running, and a pitch upstairs, ball one to Carlos Rojas. You will see how drastically the running game changes the game of baseball here in the third inning. The running game can put so many things into play that ordinarily aren't. There's ball two, one of the things we're seeing right now, and it's natural. Nick Touchstone is worried about the runner at first, so he's fallen behind Carlos Rojas 2-0. That's what Lou Brock used to do, the former Cub who was traded to the Cardinals in the 1964 season. He absolutely terrorized pitchers. Lou did it in a little more upfront way. He'd dance off first. He would make the pitcher absolutely crazy. Walker has a huge lead now. Chris Walker with a big lead at first. The 2-0 to Rojas. There he goes. A pitch high. The throw to second. Ah! Safe. I'm sorry. Brandon Wood had the ball dislodged from his mitt. He would have been out, but Chris Walker knocked the ball out of Matt Abrams' glove. Not Brandon Woods, Matt Abrams. The stolen base for Chris Walker. What a throw by Bobby Wilson. Now the count 3-0 on Carlos Rojas. Oh, that was some peg by Bobby Wilson, but Matt Abrams had the ball knocked out of his mitt on a head-first slide by Chris Walker, his league-high 26th steal of the year. Ball 4, 2 on, nobody out. Let's see if Brian Doperic bunts or swings away. Conventional wisdom would tell you he'll swing away because he's batting .270 with 11 homers, 32 RBIs. However, conventional wisdom does not run the game of baseball. Punches, statistics, situations, those are what tell you as a manager whether you have a guy bunt or not. Eric Bennett, the Colonel pitching coach, out to the hill to try to help out Nick Touchstone. And just as we told you earlier, a right-hander who will take over in this game fairly soon, Billy Petrick. And if you think the Colonels have a cakewalk after Ryan Dempster leaves the game, forget it. Billy Petrick is a very good pitcher for Lansing. He's a 20-year-old right-hander, a Cubs second-round pick in 2002. He's 6-2 with a 3.10 ERA. So just because the Colonels may have seen the last of Ryan Dempster does not mean things get much easier with Billy Petrick warming up. But we have to remember we're only in the third inning, and it's only 3-0 Lugnuts. We do need an out or two, though, because the Lugnuts are threatening to add to their 3-0 lead. A high pop foul into the Colonel right field bullpen, chased by Caleb Mayer. It's beyond his reach. And Matt Abram and Blake Balcom could not get there either. It landed on the field of play, just behind the mound of the Colonel right field bullpen. A fella sitting in the third row of premier seats right behind Ann and Eric Hearn. He has a Cub hat on, and he's bouncing a little baby in his lap. and he's probably indoctrinating that little fella to be a Cub fan. Nothing wrong with that. I was bleeding Cardinal red by the time I was 7 years old. Probably before that. The runner stops. He was going from second, Chris Walker, and a dandy changeup from Nick Touchstone swung on and missed. Yeah, there's a little fella in the third row being held by his daddy. His dad has a Cub cap on. Our friend Marvin and his wife are turning around looking at the little fella. Can Nick Touchstone get Brian DePerick with 2 on and nobody out? Ball 1 inside, almost hit the batter. Momentum squarely in the corner of Lansing. The Kernels have the bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the second inning, but Caleb Mayer tapped into a pitcher to home plate to first base 1-2-3 double play, and then Blake Balcom was gone on 3 pitches. Thus, the Kernels learn why a big leaguer is a big leaguer. A high pop-up. Matt Abram goes back into shallow right. Blake Balcom comes in and calls Matt off, and it's Blake Balcom with the catch. Terrific job by Nick Touchstone to get Brian DePerick to fly to shallow right. Now the job gets even tougher. Although it is a lefty against lefty matchup, that should help. Kevin Collins led off the second inning, struck out. The league leader in home runs with 14, Kevin Collins, a .333 batter, left-handed hitter. Collins, a 24th round pick by the Cubs back in '99. Jack hammers a curveball into deep right center, way back. She may go. Uh-oh, it's another 3-run homer, and it's 6-0 Lugnuts. Kevin Collins leads the league in home runs now with 15 home runs. He was sitting on a curveball, and he got one right in his wheelhouse, and he hit it over the 403-foot mark in right center. Kevin Collins makes it 6-0 Lugnuts here in the top of the third inning. Well, now I see why some managers say the 3-run homer is the most devastating play in baseball. The Lugnuts have 2 of them, and they lead the game 6-0. Swing and a miss by Carlos Mejia, strike 1. Nick Touchstone is fallen behind, but don't count the Kernels out. It's only the third inning. Here's a line shot into left center over the head of Brandon Wood. Over to get it is Matt Pauley, and he makes a good play to hold Carlos Mejia to a 1-out single. Mejia's 2 for 2. Lansing has jumped all over Nick Touchstone. That's 5 hits for the Lugnuts, 3 in this inning, and we're only in the top of the third. Robinson Chirinos at the plate. The sun has disappeared for just a little bit behind one of the high cumulus clouds. Swatting one foul over the backstop for strike 1 is Robinson Chirinos. The Kernels get a right-hander up in their bullpen. The right-hander for the Kernels is Jesse Smith. Jesse Smith tossing in the Kernel right field bullpen. Now Lansing counters with 2 right-handers in their bullpen. So we're only in the third inning, but both teams have pitchers warming up in the bullpen. Breaking ball is down and in. 1-1 to Robinson Chirinos. A hit batter and a walk have cost Nick Touchstone 2 of the 6 runs that Lansing has scored so far today. He hit a batter in front of a 3-run homer in the second. He walked a batter earlier in this second inning before a 3-run homer by Kevin Collins. A high deep drive foul punched down the right field line. Blake Balcom disappears into the corner, so does the ball. Steer right 2 to Robinson Chirinos. We have 19 games remaining after this afternoon's contest till the All-Star break, and 15 of them are on the road. Swing and a miss. Boy, Robinson Chirinos went way outside the strike zone. Swung at a pitch 1.5 feet outside. He got his fishing pole out, but forgot to put bait on the end of the line, and he missed by plenty. And that is the second strikeout for Nick Touchstone. 1 on, 2 out for Alan Rick. Allen was struck by a pitch and was aboard when Drew Larson belted his third home run of this series. Fastball downstairs from Touchstone, ball 1. 6-0 Lansing, top of the third inning. Runner at first is being held by Caleb Mayer. That's Carlos Mejia. A high drive into right. Blake Balcom circles underneath it. Balcom calls for it, but he's called off by Nick Kimpton. Nick Kimpton made the catch in right center to end the third inning. Lansing strikes for 3 runs on 3 hits. No Kernel errors, and 1 left by the visitors. Memorial Day, we're glad you're with us. The Kernels are behind, though, after 2.5, 6-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physical Therapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physical Therapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
There's a dream that lies in your heart to tell you you're one of a kind. This is your time, just believe. Rise up, be strong. Originality lasts a whole lot long. Nothing better. Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality. Dr. Pepper, salute individuality. Dr. Pepper, do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper, do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Want to welcome some very good friends of the Kernels. Our guests this afternoon on Memorial Day, John and Connie Duncan, are here, and they're enjoying the action. And John's a huge baseball fan. He gets out quite often, and we're glad that John and Connie Duncan are visiting with us in the booth here this afternoon. Connie brought me some delicious homemade chocolate chip cookies. Matt Abram, our dugout interview guest, goes up pumping, and he swings and misses. Strike 1. Abram, the number 9 hitter in the Allen Motor Company order, batting .194, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. The 0-1 from Dempster. He drops the curveball in. Strike 2. 2 men are warming up in the Lansing bullpen. They're both right-handers. One of them we expected to be warming up. Billy Petrick. He'll take over fairly soon this afternoon. Matt Abram lifts one fair to the right side of the Lugnut infield. And backpedaling about 12 feet into the grass in right to snare it is the second baseman, Robinson Chirinos. Matt Abram pops to second, 1 away in the Kernel third inning. We'll greet you tomorrow evening from southeastern Iowa, Community Field in Burlington. 6:40 dugout interview time, the first of 4 against the Kansas City Royal minor leaguers, the Burlington Bees. And it will not be a cakewalk, even though Burlington is in the basement. Here's a bunt by Nick Kimpton, and it's picked up by a bare hand, and Dempster fires to first to get Nick Kimpton. Ryan Dempster, the broad-shouldered, thick-legged right-hander, pounced on a bunt attempt by Nick Kimpton about a third of the way between the plate and the mound, and he threw Nick out. Good try by Nick Kimpton to get the Kernels going, but he was thrown out on a bunt attempt. Now Howie Kendrick, who drove one to deep center for the final out, or for the second out of the first inning, takes a strike. Burlington is won 16 and lost 34. But I'm telling you, it will not be easy to go in their home ballpark. We'll have to play our best baseball to do what we need to do, which is continue this high winning percentage. The Kernels start play this afternoon, 29-20. tied for first with Peoria atop the Western Division first half standings. We trail here today 6-0. There's a base hit knocked solidly into center by Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick will have that memory the rest of his life, getting a 2-out single in the bottom of the third off big leaguer Ryan Dempster. Way to go, Howie. Bobby Wilson has the other Colonel hit. Brandon Wood at the plate. He lined to short to end the Colonel first inning. We'll play in Burlington Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights. Then on to goal. There goes the runner. A pitch high and the throw to second. Not in time. Howie Kendrick, with the Colonels trailing 6-0 and 2 out in the bottom of the third, steals his 12th base of the year. The catcher, Alan Rick, couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and Howie Kendrick is at second with a chance for Brandon Wood to drive him home. On to Gold Dome country, South Bend, this coming weekend. Ball 2, a fastball outside, and it's 2-0 to Brandon Wood. Great to see the grandstand so full this afternoon. Number of folks enjoying the game in the plaza section, bathing in bright, warm sunshine. A slider is a strike called to Brandon. Wood with 6 homers, 28 RBIs, batting .283, a right-handed batter. The Colonels are still very much in this game. Plenty of time to go. A high pop foul, and chasing it is Brian DePerick. He may have a play. Ooh! He rammed into the railing. He and the second baseman, Robinson Chirinos, rammed into the railing of the Dick Ramsey sign, bullpen sign, down the right field line. The ball hit the railing. Everybody all right. I don't know if Chirinos hit that railing hard or if it was Brian DePerick, but Dick Ramsey, our friend from Skogman, still has a big smile on his face on that sign. Now it's 2-2 to Brandon Wood with Kendrick at second, 2 out. Ball 3 is low, and now a full count to Brandon Wood with one of the Colonel best hitters lurking on deck, Bobby Wilson. Here's the payoff pitch to Brandon. Stroked into left center for a base hit. The Colonels are on the board. Howie Kendrick scores standing up. Brandon Wood delivers an RBI single over the head of Carlos Rojas into center field, and it's 6-1 Lugnuts. Terrific piece of hitting by Brandon Wood on a 3-2 count, and he will have a lifetime memory of driving in a run against big leaguer Ryan Dempster. The Lugnut lead has been cut to 5, 6-1 here in the bottom of the third. And how big was the stolen base by Howie Kendrick? Well, it's the difference in the Colonels scoring a run. A letter-high fastball just missed outside. Ball 1 to Bobby Wilson. Brandon Wood singles home. Howie Kendrick here in the bottom of the third inning. Bobby didn't mean to go around. He did on a high fastball. Strike 1. 6-1 Lansing. Colonels batting with 2 out. Runner at first here in the bottom of the third inning. Ground ball to short. Carlos Rojas throws to second in time to get the sliding Brandon Wood. Bobby Wilson on a 6-4 force out of Brandon Wood ends the Colonel third inning, but the Colonels have taken a bite out of the Lugnut lead. 1 run, 2 hits, a stolen base, no Lugnut errors. The Colonels strand a runner. We've left 3. And after 3, the Colonels trail the Lugnut 6-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Colonels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Colonels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
The doctors, the nurses, the thermometers, the blood pressure cuffs, the cotton swabs, yes, even the waiting room magazines. Everything at Mercy Care North is moving. The new location will be the Mercy Health Plaza on Council Street Northeast between Collins Road and Blair's Ferry Road. Our last day at the old Mercy Care North location will be September 10th. So beginning at 7:30 a.m. on Friday, September 12th, we'll be treating everyday illnesses and minor injuries in our new facility on Council Street. Patients will experience new technology, a new on-site pharmacy, and best of all, easier access and parking. Remember, on September 12th, Mercy Care North is moving to the new Mercy Health Plaza on Council Street Northeast. We know in your busy life, needing a doctor never comes at a good time. But when you do, we're making it easier and more convenient for you. That's real life. That's the Mercy Touch.
Top of the hour, 3 o'clock, Memorial Day, and we want to remind you that you're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Zone. ESPN Radio 1600 AM, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. I'm John Rogers, and we're ready to go in the fourth inning. Nick Touchstone has been touched up for a pair of 3-run homers. The Kernels got a 2-out single from Howie Kendrick, who swiped second in the bottom of the third, and he scored on a Brandon Wood base hit into left center. Drew Larson, who belted a 3-run homer over the right field wall his first time up, will be first up against Nick Touchstone. Isn't it funny how one guy can just murder you throughout a series? And that's what Larson has done. Ball one is upstairs from the lefty Nick Touchstone. We're back at home next week. A ground ball foul into the Lansing left field bullpen. We're back at home on Thursday, the 10th of June. A 4-game series against Don Money and his Beloit Snappers. They're right in the thick of things in the Western Division. They're 27-22. Started play today, only 2 games back of the Kernels and Peoria. Ball 2 misses outside from Nick Touchstone. Thursday the 10th, Friday the 11th, that's a Commercial Federal Bank fireworks night. Friday the 11th of June. Swing and a miss as Touchstone took something off a pitch and Larson missed it. 2-2 to Drew. The wind continues to blow out towards right center here. Sunshiny, gorgeous Monday, Memorial Day. A broken bat looper into left, and it's going to fall for a base hit in front of Matt Pauley. Drew Larson continues his mastery over Colonel pitching. Don't blame Nick Touchstone, though. He made a good pitch. Larson broke his bat, but was strong enough to muscle it out to left field for a leadoff single. 1 on, nobody out for the number 9 hitter, Alberto Garcia. Saturday, June 12th is a 7 o'clock start here at home against Beloit. Then Sunday the 13th, a 2 o'clock game. Then the Kernels leave for an 8-game road trip to Battle Creek and to Peoria. Actually, it's a 7-game road trip. Garcia takes low, ball 1. Alberto skied to center, to shallow center to end the Lugnut second inning. Lansing holds a 5-run lead here in the top of the 4th, 6-1. Ball 2 outside. It's 2-0 to the right-handed batter. Alberto in 8 games hitting .320. Holds the bat right down on the end, doesn't wear batting gloves, and he fouls one away to the right, strike 1. Pete Rose used to say you get serious about the big league pennant race when school gets out, and school is getting out. And the Cincinnati Reds are leading the Central Division. They were the team that nobody picked. A tap foul behind the plate evens the count now to the number 9 hitter, 2-2. But it's a marathon, and you can't sneak into a division title. 162 games, the best team will win the division. And it may be the Reds will be the best team. A double play ball to Brandon Wood. Throw to Abram out, throw to first, not made. Brandon had to go far to his right. Had a little bit of trouble getting out of his mitt, so Matt Abram made a wise decision after the force out, 6-4 of Drew Larson. Matt Abram held the ball. And Alberto Garcia reaches on a fielder's choice, 1 on, 1 out. Let's see if Chris Walker may try to bunt his way on. That's what Matt Brown is thinking. Brown, well, now Brown's backpedaling towards normal depth at third base. Maybe Walker will try to lay one down. Nope, he swings and misses strike one. A number of fans brought miniature American flags here this afternoon. My hometown of Alton, Illinois, has one of the longest running Memorial Day parades in the country, and it's going on. It has concluded, rather. Started earlier this morning, and one of the things I remember most is the Shriners, those overweight fellas on those tiny little motorcycles. I aspire to do that someday in my life. I sure have the weight classification down right, but I don't have a motorcycle and haven't been asked to be a Shriner at this point. A swing and a miss, strike two on Chris Walker. That just looked like the funnest thing to me. They did figure eights on the streets with those El Cajir caps on. Most of them were roly-poly, jolly, red-cheeked fellas who looked like they were having the time of their lives. Pitch in the dirt by Nick Touchstone. Chris Walker, 1 for 2 today, even on the count now, 2-2. Walker singled, stole second, and scored on a 3-run homer his last time up. That was in the third inning. A breaking pitch in the dirt, and the count full now to Chris Walker. Lansing will head home after this Memorial Day affair. The Lugnuts are 16-8 at Oldsmobile Park. Is the runner going? A throw over there by Touchstone and a late tag by Caleb Mayer. Most of all, Memorial Day means exactly what it implies. We memorialize and remember those brave soldiers who have given their lives in sacrifice of our freedom. Swing and a miss on a pitch downstairs. Chris Walker fans 2 away in the top of the fourth. That strikeout is the third of the afternoon for Nick Touchstone.
Shortstop Carlos Rojas.
I can't wait to get out to Washington, D.C. and see both the Vietnam War Memorial and the newly opened memorial to the World War II cause. A pitch low, ball one to Carlos Rojas. And there's no question about it, we'll be fighting this war on terror for the next several years, if not decades, until we can eliminate that hatred on the part of those that would do anything to bring our country down. Ball one is high to Carlos. He's ahead, or ball two is high. He's ahead 2-0. He walked and scored on the 3-run homer by the cleanup batter Kevin Collins in the third inning. The 2-0 from Touchstone is in the dirt. The runner tries for second. He'll make it. Bobby Wilson couldn't find the handle. A wild pitch charge to Nick Touchstone. Bobby Wilson's been so good behind the plate for the Kernels. He made a good stop, but couldn't prevent the runner from advancing into scoring position. The wind is shifted a little bit and is now blowing from left to, well, now I guess it's swirling a little bit. Ball four is high. Nick Touchstone is allowed his second walk. And with 2 on and 2 out, Brian Doperick will bat. Nothing doing in the Colonel bullpen. Have we seen the last of Ryan Dempster for the Lansing Ball Club? I think we have. He goes 3 innings. He gives up 1 run on 3 base hits. He wasn't overpowering. He struck out 1, he walked 1, and he hit a batter. Now a balk has been called by Bob Davidson, the base umpire. A balk has been called, and there are runners at second and third. Bob Davidson, the base umpire, has called a balk. Nick Touchstone got an explanation. A high, deep drive to left, and it's the third 3-run homer of the day. Wow! Oh, my goodness. Brian Doperick hit one out over the 378 mark, and 3 3-run homers have powered Lansing ahead 9-1 here in the 4th inning. Brian Doperick, the third 3-run homer of the day for the visitors. Well, Nick Touchstone is going to have nightmares about this outing. He balked on the previous pitch, and then he serves up his third 3-run homer. Jesse Smith back on his feet in the Colonel right field bullpen, and now we see why the Lugnuts are third in the league in home runs. They have shown massive surges of power here this afternoon. Kevin Collins takes a pitch low, ball one. Three-run homers by Lansing. Wow. And that one sounded different. It sounded like a bazooka mortar, or a bazooka volley, rather, going off the bat of Goperic, his 12th of the year. Swing and a miss by Kevin Collins. Let's just prevent this thing from turning into a laugher, and you may be saying, oh, come on, John, it's over now. No, it is not. No, it is not over with this Colonel Ball Club. They don't just put the bats and gloves down and say, okay, let's write this one off. They battle you. A curve and a swing and a miss. That's what I mean. After a 3-run homer, Nick Touchstone maintained his composure and struck out Kevin Collins. In the 4th inning, those 3 runs for Lansing on 2 base hits, a 3-run homer, no Colonel errors, a wild pitch and a balk, and Lansing leaves the bases empty. A long way to catch up, but a long way to go as well. After 3.5, Lansing 9, the Colonels 1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Would you like to meet Cedar Rapids River Raiders Kenyon Murray and Dean Oliver and help a great cause? I'm Scott Unash from the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM, and I'd like to invite you to the 4th Annual Celebration of Sports Banquet and Auction. It's Tuesday, June 8th at 5:30 at the Collins Plaza in Cedar Rapids. We'll be awarding the Lynn County Male and Female Athletes of the Year, plus we'll salute 2 Special Olympians and much more. If you support local sports, make plans now to attend. Tickets are $25 and tables of 10 are available. Proceeds from this event help support East Central Iowa Special Olympics and the Sports Tourism Fund at the Cedar Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Call the Celebration of Sports hotline at 319-398-5383, extension 121 today to make your reservation. Join me, Scott Unash, in the Zone at the Celebration of Sports Banquet and Auction, Tuesday, June 8th at 5:30 at the Collins Plaza in Cedar Rapids. Remember, call 398-5383, extension 121 to make your reservation.
Cedar Rapids Toyota is now at our new facility on Boyson Road in Hiawatha, across from Intent City. With our new location, we're able to offer Iowa's best value and selection on every Toyota model. Choose from over 250 new Toyotas. Cedar Rapids Toyota is Iowa's leader in new, certified, and used Toyotas. That means you won't be undersold. We really do offer Iowa's best Toyota value. The new Cedar Rapids Toyota, Boyson Road, Hiawatha, west of I-380.
Billy Petrick, P-E-T-R-I-C-K, in relief for Ryan Dempster. The 27-year-old big leaguer Ryan Dempster pitched 3 innings, allowed the Colonels 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 1, hit a batter. Billy Petrick is just 20 years old, a 3rd-round draft pick of the Cubs out of Morris, Illinois High School. He's 6'6", 240, a prototypical modern-day pitcher, and he misses outside ball 1 to Matt Brown. Brown walked in the 2nd inning. 9-1 Lansing, bottom of the 4th. Billy Petrick, 6-2, has started 8 games for the Lugnuts. This is his 2nd relief appearance. 6-2 at 3.10 ERA. Matt Brown narrowly misses the leadoff double. He smokes 1 foul past 3rd. Billy Petrick has pitched 49 in the 3rd innings, surrendering 46 hits in 49 in the 3rd. He's walked 41 batters in 49 in the 3rd, walked 15. The league hitting .253 against Billy Petrick. In relief of the starter, Ryan Dempster. Seth Van Hoven, our colleague with the Lugnuts, talked a little bit about Mark Pryor in his start in Lansing a week and a half ago. He said that Mark Pryor bought the entire clubhouse filet mignon steaks, and that's quite a touch of class. I'm sure Ryan Dempster is doing something similar for his Lugnut underlings here this afternoon. Perhaps a full clubhouse of pizza on Ryan Dempster. Those big leaguers never forget where they came from, or at least most of them don't. Hey, ball, strike 2 call to Matt Brown. It looked outside, and it's a full count to Matt Brown. Ooh, that looked like a pitch outside, but Brownie was summoned back to the dish by the plate umpire, Chris Bakke. Full count to Matt. He's leading off here in the bottom of the fourth. A long uphill climb for the Kernels. We're down by 8. A drive into right field, but right at Carlos Mejias. He comes in and gloves it. Matt Brown hit it off the end of the bat and flies to right. 1 gone. Our parent club is spinning their wheels a little bit. Yesterday at Comiskey Park, former Colonel John Lackey was ripped. John's record fell to 3-6. He gave up 9 hits and 8 runs in 3 innings. The Angels losing for the 5th time in their last 6 games as the White Sox dismantled our Angels 11-2 at Comiskey. Here's a swing and a foul right back up towards us. And it's strike 1 on Matt Pauley, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. Salt Lake dropped a doubleheader. The AAA affiliate lost 2 to Fresno yesterday. Former Colonel Brandon Emanuel lost. He's 0-4. And former Colonel Joel Peralta was rocked in the second game. Peralta was tagged for 4 hits, 4 runs in 1 inning. So some bad news, Halo happenings, but it was just 1 day in baseball. A strike to Pauley. Now Matt checks his swing on a pitch below the knees. He didn't go around. Ball 1. Arkansas lost 5-4, but former Colonels Tommy Murphy, Dallas McPherson, and Jeff Mathis each hit home runs. The 1-2 to Pauley is grounded to first on 2 hops. Off the first baseman's glove into shallow right. Pauley will hold on. An error on Brian Doperick. Brian Doperick let that ball play him. He backed up on it. It hit off the heel of his glove and then rolled into shallow right. First error of the afternoon by either club, the 7th of the year, committed by the lean, tall, strong Brian Doperick at first base. Matt Pauley is aboard with 1 out for Caleb Mayer. The turning point in this game was Caleb's at bat in the second inning. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Colonels trailed 3-0, and Ryan Dempster got Caleb to hit into a 1-2-3 double play. A strike called on the outside corner. Caleb hitting .239, 4 homers, 13 RBIs. Good news from Rancho Cucamonga. Halo happenings. A ground ball. Ooh, a backhanded stop at third. Throw to second out. What a play by Drew Larson to take a hit away from Caleb Mayer. Drew Larson sparkling with the bat and the glove in this series. Backpedaled, backhanded a hard hit smash by Caleb, and then unleashed a throw to the second baseman Robinson Chirinos to get Matt Pauley 5-3. Mayer reaches on a fielder's choice. Rancho Cucamonga clobbered Lake Elsinore 12-3. Former Colonel catcher Mike Napoli belted a pair of home runs, had 4 RBIs. David Gates. Here's a line drive into right by Blake Balcom for a base hit. Caleb Mayer will round second and hold on as Blake Balcom took the first pitch from Billy Petrick and went the other way, lashed it into right. Caleb Mayer stopped at second. 2 on, 2 out for Matt Abram. David Gates homered and drove in 3 runs in the Quakes' 12-3 pounding of Lake Elsinore. Those are Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim Angel organization from yesterday. Here we trail 9-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the batter is Matt Abram. Matt popped the second, leading off the second inning against Ryan Dempster. Line drive, base hit into right. Caleb Mayer is going to be rounding third. They have to hold him up as Mejia makes a good throw to the plate. The bases are loaded with 2 out for Nick Kimpton. And the Kernels, as we noted earlier, will not surrender and hoist the white towel in this ball game. Abram hit it so hard, smacking it past the diving second baseman Robinson Chirinos into right, that Caleb Mayer could not score from second. The bases are loaded for Nick Kimpton. Nick has flown to center and been thrown out trying to bunt his way on. So the Kernels are trying to cash in on a Lansing error earlier in this inning by first baseman Brian Doperick. The 6'6" right-hander Billy Petrick fires a strike on the outside corner to Nick Kimpton. Mayer at third, Balcom at second, Abram at first. Bottom of the 4th, 9-1 Lansing. A drive foul off the end of the bat onto the lawn section. Actually, it lands in play in the Lansing bullpen, strike 2. The crowd comes alive for one of the first times this afternoon. It's been a wonderful experience living here at the ballpark the last 2 weeks almost, an 11-game homestand, and oh, sure, you go home to your own bed every night, but essentially you live here, and there's no other place that the Kernel front office staff and employees would rather be than the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's going to be sad to see this 11-game homestand come to an end. Ball 1 just missed low to Nick Kimpton, the left-handed hitting leadoff batter. Backdoor curve from Petrick bits outside, ball 2. Nick Kimpton could give this big crowd a huge reason to cheer here with 2 out in the bottom of the 4th, bases loaded. A number off the end of the bat. This will be a tough play. The second baseman tags the runner trying to go to second. Out is Matt Abram. That was the only play that Robinson Chirinos had. Nick Kimpton rolled it weakly past the mound to the second baseman, and I'll be darned, he tagged Matt Brown or was on the base. Either one, Brown was out by just a hair at second to end the inning. In the 4th for the Kernels, no runs, 2 hits. 1 Lugnut error. The Kernels leave the bases loaded and have stranded 6 runners in 4 at-bats. We go to the top of the 5th. Lansing 9, the Kernels 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, man, what's up? Just getting ready to kick your butt. Right. And mess up your hair? You just wish you could look this good. No, nothing but that. Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it? Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I can get in whenever it's convenient for me. Nice shot. Yeah. So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good? Well, for some of us, that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me. Oh, so that's why your hair never moves. Oh, you're funny. Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time. Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time and walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I feel it in my mouth, but there's no taste.
Okay, sir, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer.
Okay.
Walk straight to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Miller. Good call.
Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Nick Touchstone, the 22-year-old Kernel lefty, lifted after 4 innings. He gave up 9 runs on 7 hits, fanned 3, walked 2, hit a batter. Jesse Smith has come on. Jesse Smith out of the Kernel bullpen in relief of Nick Touchstone, and Jesse will face the numbers 5, 6, and 7 men in the Lansing order, top of the 5th. Kernels have been out hit 7-5, trail it 9-1. Jesse Smith last pitched Saturday here on this homestand, 1 inning, gave up 1 run, 2 hits, struck out none, walked none. Jesse Smith is 0-2 this year. The 23-year-old right-hander is on for the 15th time out of the Kernel bullpen, 0-2. An ERA of just over 7. Jesse's pitched 25 1/3, given up 29 hits, fanned 25 batters and 25 1/3, walked 15 in the league, hitting .279 against Jesse Smith. A strike is called to Carlos Mejia. Remember, in the top of the 6th inning, we'll have our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you. And since this is our last game with the Lansing Lugnuts here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium during the regular season, we will have our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question be Cub related. The Lugnuts, of course, are the Midwest League affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. Carlos Mejia is 2 for 2 this afternoon. He's ahead in the count 2-1, and he swings at a Jesse Smith fastball and misses for strike 2. Mejia stands straight away from the right side. Swings late and misses, strike 3. Jesse Smith retires Carlos Mejia for the first time today on a hopping fastball right down the heart of the plate. Robinson Chirinos has scored a run and struck out, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the second, struck out in the third. Nick Touchstone, 4 innings worked, yielding 9 runs on 7 hits. 3 3-run homers did Nick in. A curveball is taken outside, ball 1 to Robinson Chirinos. Now in Uncle Charlie, that one was ruled inside, ball 2. A brand new promotion is a big hit here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. I want to tell you youth baseball, softball, and t-ball coaches about it. It's known as the Cost Cutters Dream Team. The Cost Cutters Dream Team gets to position themselves in the Kernel dugout before the game. They're given a Cost Cutters Kernel logo soft toss baseball, and then they get the thrill of being introduced as they trot out onto the field and stand next to a Kernel at his position for the national anthem. Then the Kernel autographs that Kernel Cost Cutters logo ball. Your team can have that thrill by calling us and scheduling a date for them to be the Cost Cutters Dream Team. Ball 3 drifts outside to Chirinos. Jesse's 3-1 is swatted off to the right foul, strike 2. Call Jessica Ferguson at 896-7612 if you'd like to inquire about the availability of a date for your team to be the team, the Cost Cutters Dream Team. Jessica Ferguson's number, 896-7612. The payoff pitch from Smith, swung on and missed. Robinson Chirinos fans and Jesse Smith, who has his family here over Memorial Day weekend, is putting on quite a display for them. He spanned the first 2 Lugnuts in the top of the 5th inning. Lansing comfortably ahead right now, 9-1. They got a 3-run homer from Drew Larson in the second, a 3-run homer by Kevin Collins in the third, a 3-run homer by Brian Doperick in the fourth. A high pop foul over the Lugnut third base dugout, strike 1, to Alan Rick, the catcher. And once again, as we look down below and in the concourse, quite a few Cub jerseys and Cub caps. A lot of Cub fans are here. So is the cow from Chick-fil-A. He'll be leading the Chick-fil-A chicken dance in the next half inning. In fact, that big cow is sitting down and has made a new friend, a little boy, giving the cow a big hug. Kids love mascots. Why not? Adults love them too. The most famous mascot here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium is is Mr. Shucks. Kirby is a close second. They're both equally popular. A 1-2 pitch from Jesse rides down and into the left-handed batter, Alan Rick. Base is empty. 2 gone. Jesse Smith trying to retire Lansing in order for the first time since Nick Touchstone did it in the very first inning this afternoon. The 2-2. Ball 3 low and in. John Duncan, one of our guests here this afternoon, asked me between innings if I was old enough to remember Dizzy Dean broadcasting baseball games. Unfortunately, I am not. Here's a bouncer over the hill. Tough play for Matt Abram. Second baseman on to first, and Matt Abram makes a good play. He had to rush into his right and throw Alan Rick out. And down in order go the Lugnuts for the first time since the first inning. I'll tell you what I remember about Dizzy Dean, what my cousin has told me over the years. As we head to the home half of the 5th on Memorial Day, Lansing leads the Kernels 9-1. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
It's spring planting time, and garden treasures await you at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. For the best selection in the area, plus all the free expert advice you'll need to make them grow, choose Peck's. The greenhouses at Peck's are filled with beautiful colors, gorgeous hanging baskets, rose bushes, patio pots, and blooming annual flower plants, including the best and newest blooms for sun or shade. Grow your own vegetables and herbs from Peck's large selection of favorite vegetable and tomato plant varieties that are ready to plant. Peck's also has hundreds of varieties of hardy perennial plants, plus acres of trees, shrubs, and evergreens for landscapes. Contact Peck's for an estimate on your landscape project. Visit Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, where their knowledgeable staff is ready to answer plant and gardening questions. Peck's, growing garden treasures since 1956, at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Roads Northeast.
Right-hander Billy Petrick, in relief of starter Ryan Dempster, worked out of a bases-loaded 2-out jam in the fourth inning. He's set to face Howie Kendrick, Brandon Wood, and Bobby Wilson. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Howie singled, stole second, and scored the only Colonel run of this day back in the third inning. John Duncan is one of our guests. He and his wife Connie are with us this afternoon, and John brought up the subject of Dizzy Dean. Dizzy, along with Denny McClain, have two 30-game winners in the big leagues, but here's Howie Kendrick launching one foul over the first base grandstand roof. Dizzy Dean did a lot of color commentating on NBC's Game of the Week back in the 50s. And he was very colorful, and if I remember right, John Duncan, some English teachers from St. Louis wrote to NBC and were up in arms about how Dizzy Dean didn't use proper grammar on the telecast. I remember my cousin telling me that. Dizzy was known to say instead of he slid into third, he would say he slud into third. Well, Dizzy was a country boy. The 2-1 to Howie is dribbled foul behind the plate for strike two. Dizzy Dean, 30-game winner for the Cardinals. He and his brother Paul combined to win over 50 games for the Cardinals back in the 30s. A pitch wrapped to deep short, backhanded by Rojas. Not in time to throw, and Howie Kendrick has a leadoff single here in the Colonel fifth inning. Howie Kendrick 2 for 3. He grounded one to deep short. Carlos Rojas made a good play to pick it on his backhand side, but his throw was late, and Howie Kendrick reaches with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Brandon Wood has lined to short, single to center. Brandon's 2-out RBI single in the third cut the Lansing lead to 6-1. The Lugnuts answered with a 3-run homer from Brian Doperick in the fourth inning, and they lead it 9-1. Strike one called to Brandon Wood. Right-handed hitter, sun shining brightly here on Memorial Day. Strike two on the outside edge. And a very, very healthy, impressive-looking crowd down below. As I say, quite a few of them wearing Cub jerseys, Cub caps, showing their allegiance to the big league affiliate of these Lansing Lugnuts, the Chicago Cubs. Ball one, up and in to Brandon. Remember Harry Carey and his famous commercial, "I'm a Cub fan and a Bud man," advertising for Budweiser. A line drive to second, a double play. Oh, brother, Brandon Wood hit it right on the button and hit a screaming line drive to Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos caught it, then threw in behind Howie Kendrick for a 4-3 double play. Do you ever get the feeling that the day just doesn't belong to you? Well, that's the way our luck has gone so far this afternoon. Bobby Wilson, the batter. He led the second inning off against Ryan Dempster, the big leaguer, and singled. Bobby then forced a runner at second to end the third inning. Base is empty now, 2 out. Ooh, what a line drive off the bat of Brandon Wood for a double play. Now a big swing and a miss by Bobby Wilson. Bobby's momentum carried him all the way across the dish. Bobby has the top of his red Kernel helmet caked with pine tar. Petrick delivers and a foul off to the right. Bobby in the hole, 1-2. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question comes your way in the top of the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Outfield plays Bobby deep and straight away. A ground ball to short. Carlos Rojas gets a nice big charity hop and on to first to end the inning. The Kernels in the 5th, no runs, a leadoff single, a double play, no Lugnut errors, and nobody left. Just around the corner, your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. After 5, the Kernels trail the Lugnuts 9-1, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's.
Better call Papa.
The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons is Cedar Rapids' exclusive downtown hotel. Make plans to experience a spectacular view from the top of the 5 restaurant. Start your day off with us for breakfast or make a lasting impression on your business associates by treating them to our signature lunch buffet that changes daily. For any occasion, enjoy an elegant dinner or the Eddie Picard Jazz Trio in the city's only rooftop restaurant. The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons, top of the 5.
Butterflies in your stomach. You know the feeling, like when you're not sure you found the best loan. Well, set those butterflies free. Talk with a knowledgeable banker at Wells Fargo. Whether you're interested in a home equity loan, mortgage, or auto loan, they can help you find a product that's just right for you, including unique financing options you won't find anywhere else. And every Wells Fargo loan has competitive rates and affordable payment options. So be sure you found the best loan. Call or visit Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, the next stage. Wells Fargo Bank and Inc. Equal Housing Lender.
Well, the scoreboard can't dampen the spirits of this Memorial Day crowd. Bathing in sunshine in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, they were hooting and hollering as a pair of kids on each dugout top danced for a chance to win prizes from Dairy Queen, the Dairy Queen dugout dance. We have a chance for you now to earn a prize, a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant with our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. If you've been one of our 29 previous winners of that $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, that's great. Play along wherever you're tuned in this afternoon, but please don't call in. Please don't call in if you've already won. Ball 1 is low to Drew Larson. Tomorrow in the Gazette, look for a coupon for a 4-piece broasted chicken dinner at the Springhouse. Buy one, get one half price. A high pop foul down into the right field area, and it lands up into the Papa John's Plaza, strike 1 on Drew Larson. He's hit a 3-run homer, and he's singled. We have a big round of applause for a serviceman who's here at the ballpark, who's been welcomed home. In tomorrow's Gazette, a coupon that you can turn in at the Springhouse, buy one, get one half price, 4-piece broasted chicken dinner. You can also look for that coupon in Wednesday's Penny Saver from the Springhouse. The 1-1 is dribbled foul behind home plate. Here's our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. The left side of the 1984 National League Eastern Division champion Chicago Cub infield was a combined 74 years old. Who were those 2 infielders? A swing and a miss on a Jesse Smith curveball. Jesse has retired 4 straight Lugnuts. the left side of the 1984 National League Eastern Division champion Chicago Cubs infield was a combined 74 years old. Who were they? 896-7589, the number to call for your chance to earn a certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant. 896-7589. 896-7589. Swinging a foul on the first pitch to Alberto Garcia. One out in the top of the sixth inning, and we have a caller that is trying to answer the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question correctly. Look out, here's a pitch drilled foul over the Papa John's Plaza, strike two to the number 9 hitter, Alberto Garcia. The subject of our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, the left side of the 1984 Cub Eastern Division champion team. A high pop foul off to the right, or fair ball rather. It's caught by Caleb Mayer. And we're ashamed to have, not ashamed, I shouldn't use that word. I'm sorry I did not explain one of the rules. Colonel employees are ineligible, so we'll start from scratch. We have a Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question to ask. The left side of the Chicago Cub 1984 infield was a combined 74 years old. 896-7589, the number to call with your answer. Here's a high pop foul over the third base Lansing dugout into the dugout. Strike one to Chris Walker. Again, Alberto Garcia has popped to first as we continue to try to get a winner in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We have little Carrie Broussard down below. Okay, we do all of this. This confusion was caused by a joke, and if you can't take a joke on the 11th game of a homestand, when can you take one? Do we have a winner yet? Okay. We have a winner. Here's a ground ball to the right side, gloved by Matt Abram. He throws late. Chris Walker beats it out. It's an infield single for Chris Walker. Oh, Chris Walker flew down the first base line. He reaches on a 2-out infield single. We have a winner to congratulate in our Springhouse Family Restaurant trivia question. Congratulations to Chris Rolls, Rolwes, of Suburban Street Northeast. That's a familiar address, but I'm sure he's a first-time winner because no one ever violates the sacred trust of our ground rules in the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. A ground ball base hit into right will send Walker around second. He stops there. Carlos Rojas singles into right. And first and second, 2 out here in the sixth inning. Who was the left side of the Cub 1984 infield? Well, Chris Rolls, Rolwes, had the right answer. A combined 74 years old. Ronnie Say, the Penguin, was 36 years old for the Cubs in '84 when they won the division title. Ronnie hit .240 with 25 homers, 97 RBIs. At shortstop, 38-year-old Larry Boa. Larry played in 133 games, hit .223, the switch hitter, no homers, 17 RBIs. Well, congratulations to Chris Rolls, our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question winner. And it was great to hear from so many of you Colonel fans, as we always do when we challenge you to that $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. A curve is a strike. It's 1-1 to Brian DePerick. Let's see if Jesse Smith can work out of trouble here in the top of the sixth inning. 9-1 Lansing. The Lugnuts have runners at first and second, 2 out. DePerick hit a 3-run homer off of Nick Touchstone his last time up. Beautiful curveball from Jesse Smith. The batter took it for a ball. It's hard to tell from here whether a pitcher is a ball or a strike, but sometimes we fall into the trap of rooting too hard for the Kernels and prematurely calling pitches. A swing and a foul into the backstop, and the count is 2-2 to DePerick. Chris Walker at second. He reached on a 2-out infield single, and Carlos Rojas at first. The Kernels have been out hit 9-6, trail 9-1 on this beautiful Memorial Day afternoon at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Jesse Smith is set with 2 on and 2 out. He strikes out. DePerick swinging. Brian DePerick swung at a pitch below his knees, a dandy curveball from Smith. Jesse Smith with his second scoreless inning in relief of Nick Touchstone. No runs for Lansing in the 6th, 2 hits, no Colonel errors. The Lugnuts leave a pair. They've stranded 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Kernels trail Lansing 9-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
You save big money, when you shop Menards.
Save big on all your outdoor projects now at Menards, and don't pay till 2005. Protect your deck and driveway with big savings on stains and sealers. And don't pay till 2005. A gallon of Thompson Solid Water Seal Deck and House Stain is on sale for just $9.98. A 5-gallon pail of 2-year Blacktop Driveway Sealer is only $11.99. With no interest or payments till 2005 when you put it on your Menard Big Card. Re-side your home with premium vinyl siding on sale. And don't pay till 2005. While you're shopping, enter to win a Pontiac GTO. See store for details. Plus, save big at Menards on everything to build a deck, put up a fence, add a new storage building, with no interest or payments till 2005. Now during project days at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This Memorial Day, Bridge Community Bank and the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM pay respect to the veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifice protecting the basic freedoms of the United States of America. We also wish to salute the brave men and women now proudly serving our country. To these soldiers who stand in harm's way, our prayers are with you. We wish you a safe and timely return home. This message has been sponsored by Bridge Community Bank.
Matt Brown will lead off for the Kernels against right-hander Billy Petrick, and it's 9-1 Lansing. A trio of 3-run homers. The difference in this game, all 3 coming off of Colonel lefty starter Nick Touchstone. Jesse Smith has pitched very well in relief. Matt Brown has walked and flied to right. He was the first man that Petrick faced in the 4th inning. Matt Brown swings on the first pitch and rolls out to short. Easy play for Carlos Rojas. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Plenty of action to report this afternoon in the big leagues on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Gary Shubat, and Lanny Peterson. We have 2 finals. Here's a high pop-up to the center of the infield. Look out! Look out! 2 Lugnuts collide, but the second baseman Chirinos catches it, and he smacked cheeks with shortstop Carlos Rojas. Both are shaken up, but Chirinos caught it. So much for taking a pitch or 2, trailing 9-1. Matt Pauley, first pitch swinging, looped one over the pitcher's head, and in front of second base, Robinson Chirinos came together with Carlos Rojas, and I mean they collided pretty doggone hard, each of them hitting their head into the other one, but there are 2 out quickly in the 6th inning. 2 finals on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Atlanta, the Braves trounced Montreal this afternoon 8-2. And in the American League, the Tigers crowned the Royals at Comerica Park 8-4. They're in the bottom of the 9th at Fenway, and the Orioles are dismantling the Red Sox 13-4. And they're in the top of the 9th at the Metrodome. The Devil Rays lead the Twins 7-3. A 2-0 pitch is high to Caleb Mayer. The Mets and Phillies are delayed in the bottom of the 4th at Citizens Bank Park, with the Mets leading 1-0. Strike 1 called to Caleb. They're in the bottom of the 2nd at Pro Player Stadium, and the Marlins lead the Reds 4-0. The Cubs in Houston are scoreless at Wrigley in the bottom of the 2nd. Ball 4 to Caleb Mayer. At Dodger Stadium, the Brewers 0, Los Angeles 0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Not underway yet, the Cardinals and Pirates at PNC Park. And later tonight, the Giants and Diamondbacks in Phoenix. and the Padres host the Colorado Rockies. In the American League later tonight, Seattle and the Blue Jays play in the Emerald City. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Blake Balcom cuts on the first pitch from the tall right-hander Petrick and lifts it foul behind the plate. Billy is wearing a long-sleeved black jersey underneath his Lansing gray road top. Blake Balcom steps all the way out of the dirt batting circle. Little Carrie Broussard is down below. She's a good friend of the Kernels. Carrie looks like she'll be doing some sort of in-between inning contest. She goes to Viola Gibson School. Swing and a foul underneath the legs of catcher Alan Rick, and that puts Balcom in the hole, 0-2. 9-1 Lugnuts, 2 gone, bottom of the 6th, and the Kernels batting. Blake Balcom 1 for 2, singled hard into right his last time up. Blake is a .267 batsman with 3 homers, 16 runs driven in. A curve is high to Balcom, evening the count, still keeping Blake in the hole, 1-2. The Kernels is a team batting .268. That's second highest in the Midwest League. And then we lead the league in homers and stolen bases. Swing and a foul powdered into the backstop. Good cut by Balcom. How can the wind be blowing out, yet papers here in our press box be blowing all over the place? It must be a swirling wind. Or maybe Blake Balcom's swing was that wind that came up here. Wow. Blake nubs one to third. Drew Larson will throw to second to force out the sliding Caleb Mayer. 5 for the fourth, and that ends the Kernels' 6th inning. No runs, a walk, no hit, no Lansing errors. The Kernels strand a runner. We've left 7 in 6 innings. We head to the top of the 7th. The Lugnuts basting the Kernels 9-1, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This is the time of year when people are giving and receiving lots of presents for weddings, showers, and graduations, plus the usual birthdays and anniversaries. Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling reminds you gift wrapping paper should not be disposed of in your blue recycling box. Instead, reuse your gift wrapping paper for other special occasions or put it in your regular garbage for collection day. Remember, don't put gift wrapping paper in your blue recycling box. Thanks from Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Get more out of life, get more in now, gotta get things done, that's what it's all about. Yeah, working all day, it's the power to do, it's how you live, it's best for you. We bring the power to you every time, you got the power, science and you, we're on for you.
Lasso ERV, where veteran RV owners send their relatives and friends to buy. Lasso E is a family-owned business with a friendly atmosphere, certified technicians, and service with a smile. Lasso E has a large selection of floor plans in lightweight and full-size models. CRVs by New Way Hitchhiker, Coachman, Sunlight, Rebel, and Century. Lasso ERV has everyday low prices and RVs to fit all budgets. So head to Lasso ERV and start planning your summertime fun. Lasso E will be closed for Memorial Day weekend, May 29th through 31st. Have a safe and fun weekend and happy camping.
It's all here, you will see. Break away with Lasso E.
Lasso E Campers, northeast of Anamosa, Highway X44, Amber, Iowa, under the big tower.
Break away, Lasso E.
After 6, all Lansing. One of the Colonel bright spots in this 9-1 ball game is the relief pitching of Jesse Smith. He's fanned 4 and shut out the Lugnuts in his first 2 innings in relief of Nick Touchstone. A swing and a foul straight back by Kevin Collins. The cleanup batter added to his his league-high home run total with a 3-run blast in the 3rd inning, his 15th of the year, to put Lansing ahead 6-0. Now the Lugnuts in the 7th lead at 9-1. 3 3-run homers by Lansing. Jesse Smith moves Kevin Collins back off the plate, a fastball inside. We look forward to bringing you our Kernel of Wisdom. We'll have it just a little bit later on in this 7th inning. Outfield deep and straight away for Kevin Collins. A curveball smashed on one hop underneath the glove of the diving Caleb Mayer at first. Blake Balcom gets it back in. The 10th hit of Memorial Day for the Lansing Lugnuts. Kevin Collins has his second hit of the afternoon. 1 on, nobody out for Carlos Mejia. He was the first man Jesse Smith faced back in the 5th inning, and Jesse struck him out. This is our longest homestand of the year. It was scheduled to be 12 games, and it's been remarkable that we've gotten 11 of the 12 in when you consider the whirlwind of storms and tornado warnings and just generally unpredictable late spring rain. The only game we lost on this homestand, not a loss in the standings, but that we couldn't play, was Friday the 21st of May against the Swing of the Quad Cities. Mejia falls behind 0-2 as he fouls one straight back. We have our longest road trip of the season in late August and early September. Swing and a tip foul. I thought the batter missed it. He did miss it. Swing and a miss. Carlos Mejia is the 5th strikeout victim of right-hander Jesse Smith. Our longest road trip of the year comes in late August and early September. And that will be a trip. Well, get this. There's a strike call to the batter. On August 21st, we will embark on a road trip that will take us to Lansing, Michigan, Clinton, Iowa, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Those are the 3 cities. And no, we aren't going to use frequent flyer miles. Those are all on our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach. Lansing, Clinton, Fort Wayne. A strike is in to Chirinos. Now a double play ball to third. Matt Brown to Abram. Matt to first. Got it both! The Kernels turn a double play. And that puts this big Memorial Day crowd in a festive mood as we head to the 7th inning stretch. Chirinos grounds into an around-the-horn double play. No runs for Lansing in the 7th. 1 hit, a leadoff single. There were no Lugnut errors, and nobody left by the Lugnuts. 3 shutout innings from Colonel right-hander Jesse Smith. It's 7th inning stretch here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, and the Kernels trail the Lugnuts 9-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the 3rd generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman's.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wouldn't I?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
Hometown Restyling.
Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction is guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Come and visit one of our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Please call 378-1221.
Hometown Restyling.
There's no place like home.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
As we approach 4 o'clock here on Memorial Day, we want to remind you that you're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Zone. ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. I'm John Rogers. This is the last day of the month of May and the last game of an 11-game homestand that the Kernels have had a great deal of success on, a record of 7-3. We're on the short end of a 9-1 score here this afternoon, but it hasn't deterred the fun that this big crowd is having one single bit. Matt Abram takes up and in from Billy Petrick. We're underway in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Kernels' second baseman singled his last time up. Matt hitting at 194, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. A high drive into deep left, way back at the wall in front of the warning track. It is caught by Kevin Collins. Matt Abram brought this crowd to its feet with a deep drive to left. Matt told us on the dugout interview that he has the best dad in the whole world. His dad helped him assemble a batting cage in their backyard when they were growing up. Now, of all things, a few raindrops are falling. How can that happen with the sky perfectly blue above? Well, another mystery of nature. It won't last long, I'll tell you that. Nick Kimpton takes low for a ball. Abram told us that his dad helped him build a batting cage in his backyard, and that his dad threw so much batting practice that he threw his elbow out and is a little bit too old to get a Tommy John surgery, but Matt's younger brothers play baseball, and Matt was just thrilled to be our dugout interview guest earlier this afternoon. 1-1 to Kimpton. The leadoff batter chops one to second. Robinson Chirinos gobbles it up and throws Nick out. 2 gone quickly here in the bottom of the 7th. Our kernel of wisdom, the folks from Metro have spotted a fella on a cell phone, and they're making fun of him by a sound effect saying he can't get through to the number he wants. Our kernel of wisdom, with the bases empty, 2 outs here in the home half of the 7th, concerns a former Cub National League MVP, Big Hank Sauer, the National League MVP in 1952. His selection was set up a firestorm of controversy. Hank Sauer tied for the league in homers with 37 as a Cub in 52, and he led the National League with 121 RBIs, but he played for a 5th-place Cub team that was 77 and 77. A deep drive smacked into right by Howie Kendrick, drifting back in front of the track to glove it is Carlos Mejia. Howie Kendrick, 2 for 4 on the day, flies to right. We'll tell you why Hank Sauer's selection as the National League MVP as a Cub in 1952 stirred a firestorm of controversy. We'll do that in the top of the 8th inning. The Kernels go in order in the bottom of the 7th. As we head to the top of the 8th, Lansing routing the Kernels 9-1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
The Zone salutes the women of Cedar Rapids with the Zone Babes. They're babelicious, baby. And you know, sports isn't all there is to life. The Zone Babes. This parade of pulchritude is as close as your computer. Check out this week's Zone Babe at thezone1600.com, your online home of local sports and other stuff. This stunning photo gallery of local lovelies is beautifully photographed by Clicks Photography Company. The Zone Babes, only at thezone1600.com. The Zone.
At Bank Iowa, our professionals know how important your financial future is to you. Bank Iowa can best meet your needs when you allow us to be a part of your financial plans. Our entire staff from all areas of the bank realizes the most important part of our bank is you, the client. We bring it all together to make banking comfortable and convenient right here at home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bank Iowa, Iowa's hometown bank.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
No way I didn't my only gripe, if I had one, we don't get health insurance here. I think I've been told yet. I'm trying to I can't understand why we don't get it. But we have a new COO who's working on doing nicer things for us.
We're moving quickly now. 9-1 Lansing, top of the 8th inning. John Duncan, one of our guests, with some very kind words about how much he enjoys our broadcast here on the Zone. And John, it's fans like you and all across eastern Iowa and on the internet that get us pumped up each and every day and night of the spring and summer to bring what we think is the most fun and entertaining form of family entertainment alive on the radio, Kernel Baseball. But thank you, John, for your very kind, high words of praise for our broadcast. It means very much. Alan Rick stands in, and he's ahead 2-0, facing Jesse Smith. Jesse's had a terrific relief stint, 3 scoreless innings. Rick goes the other way and lashes one foul out of play to the left. Our Kernel of Wisdom, Hank Sauer, selected as the National League MVP in 1952, and his selection set off a firestorm of controversy. Even though he led the league in RBIs with 121 and hit 37 homers, he had a very good year. And a drive foul into the Randy Keel Hopkins Picnic Pavilion down the left field line, strike 2 to Alan Rick. He played for the 5th place Cubs, did Hank Sauer. Robin Roberts pitched for the Philadelphia Phillies. They were 87 and 67, 10 games better than the Cubs. Here's a high pop foul. Bobby Wilson chases, and he cannot get there. That was Caleb Mayer's ball. Caleb Mayer acknowledging that was his ball. Very awkward for Bobby Wilson to try to catch that foul pop up the first base line, but Bobby was steamrolling straight towards Caleb, and Caleb backed out of the way, and the ball fell for a strike, or the count remains 2-2 to Alan Rick. Robin Roberts in 1952 started 37 games for the Phillies, completed 30, was 28-7 with an ERA of 2.59. Yet he did not win the National League MVP. A high pop foul off to the left keeps Rick even 2-2. Neither did the guy I thought should have won it, Joe Black. Joe Black, a rookie right-hander, an African-American with the Brooklyn Dodgers. They won the National League title. They were 96 and 57. I'll tell you what Joe Black did and why I thought he deserved the MVP. Taking nothing away from Hank Sauer, the Cubs slugger. Joe Black was 15-4 with 15 saves in 56 games, a 2.15 ERA. Yet he did not win the league MVP. Neither did Robin Roberts. Ooh, a fastball missed just inside, and a leadoff walk issued by Jesse Smith to Alan Rick to start the 8th inning. Anyway, Hank Sauer said he was very, very happy to win the 52 MVP award. Hank Sauer played in an outfield with the Chicago Cubs that had himself in left and Ralph Kiner in right. And that prompted Chicago Tribune's Bob Logan to write the following about that outfield. He described center fielder Frankie Baumholt stuck between Hank Sauer in left and the slow Ralph Kiner in right as the only Cubs outfielder to play left, center, or to play left, right, and center at the same time at Wrigley Field. That's how slow-footed Hank Sauer and Ralph Kiner were, but they could both hit the home run ball. So Frankie Baumholt chased everything else down in that Cub outfield at Wrigley. A 1-1 pitch is low and away, and it looks like Jesse Smith may be tiring a bit. The Kernels have a right-hander up in their bullpen, and that right-hander for the Kernels is Wayne Hedden. A high pop foul drifting toward the Kernel first base dugout. Uh-oh, it blows beyond the reach of Caleb Mayer. And good news on the attendance front that we'll share with you shortly. The crowd boos a little bit, but hey, Caleb Mayer is still learning how to play first base, and with the wind swirling and blowing like it has been all afternoon, Caleb had no chance. It fell. Yes, a big leaguer probably would have caught it, but this is not the big leagues. This is where fellas make mistakes like that to learn the next time how to handle a wind-blown pop-up. Drew Larson is even on the count 2-2, and he takes high, ball 3. There should be 2 out in this inning. The Kernels should have caught the foul pop off the bat of Alan Rick. They should have caught the foul pop from Drew Larson, but Jesse Smith, now full on the count, delivers. A pitch ripped into left for a base hit, and that should be it for Jesse Smith. He is tiring. Drew Larson, that 177 batter, bashes his 3rd hit of the game, a bullet into left field, and Lansing's now out hit the Kernels 11-6. 2,125 here this afternoon. 2,125 125 on Memorial Day. And that will be it for Jesse Smith. He deserves a big round of applause because he pitched 3+ scoreless innings. And you can hear the round of applause that Jesse Smith earned as he leaves the mound. Jesse goes 3+ innings. So far, he's allowed no runs on 4 hits. Jesse Smith struck out 4 Lugnuts. No, he didn't. He struck out 5 Lansing batters. And he walked 1. Remember, he should have left this game. Well, he should still be on the mound. The bases should be empty with 2 out, but the Kernels had trouble handling pop-ups outside of first base. And thus a pitching change. Wayne Hedden has come on. Wayne, last work Saturday, had a rough outing, went 1 inning, surrendered 3 runs on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 1, in a Kernel victory over these, or in a Kernel loss rather than the Lansing Lugnuts Saturday night. Well, we congratulate Hank Sauer, the 1952 National League MVP, even though his selection is such, set off a firestorm of controversy. Bob Brooks and Bud Curran, 2 members of the Cedar Rapids Kernel, or the Cedar Rapids Professional Baseball Hall of Fame, told us that when Cedar Rapids was an affiliate of the San Francisco Giants, back in the 70s, they were known as the Cedar Rapids Giants. Hank Sauer was a roving hitting instructor, and Big Hank Sauer used to love to come into Cedar Rapids and not only instruct the young San Francisco Giants in the fine art of hitting, but Bud Curran had Hank Sauer over in his basement many, many a time for a good round of frivolity and drinking. Hank Sauer used to love, I can't remember if Bud said it was gin or bourbon or rum, but he used to love unwinding after his instruction duties were over here in Cedar Rapids. In fact, Bob Dolphin also used to have Hank Sauer come over to his house. Here's a wild pitch, and the runners advance to second and third. Wayne Hedden's first pitch out of the reach of Bobby Wilson. And now the Lugnuts are poised to score for the first time since the 4th inning and add to their 9-1 advantage here in the top of the 8th inning. And I'm not telling stories out of turn. Bud and Bob Dolphin absolutely loved when Hank Sauer came to town. It wasn't that Hank was drinking too much. It was that he enjoyed a nightcap and he loved to tell stories about his days in the big leagues. Nothing wrong with good baseball talk. I wish I'd have gotten to know Hank Sauer. His son was drafted by the San Francisco Giants, never quite made it to the big leagues. Fouling one off to the right, Alberto Garcia, it's 1-1. Wayne Hedden's fastball is high. Wayne is a 21-year-old, 44th round pick of the Angels back in 2002. Let's tell you a little bit more about him. He's 0-1 with a save. He's on for the 8th time this year. Wayne's ERA 5.87. Wayne Hedden's pitched 7 2/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, struck out 3, walked 7. The 2-1 to the right-handed hitter. Ground ball fair past third off the glove of Matt Brown, and it's 10-1 in favor of Lansing. Great sportsmanship shown by the skipper of the Lugnuts, Julio Garcia. He holds the runner at third. That runner was Drew Larson. He could have scored easily on a double by Alberto Garcia. Alberto Garcia grounds a double past the diving Matt Brown at third to drive home Alan Rick. Drew Larson could have scored, but the Lugnuts showing a great deal of restraint, knowing that they have to face us later this summer. You never rub it into the opponent on purpose. That's what's called sportsmanship. The game is well in hand. Lansing leads it now 10-1. They have runners at second and third with nobody out. And their leadoff man, who's 2 for 4, Chris Walker, a switch hitter batting left, open stance. He fouls one straight back here right over our head. Strike 1 to Chris Walker. It goes down below, and a fella earns himself a lifetime honorary Kernel contract and a free spaghetti dinner at Gio Giano's. Wayne Hedden in relief of Jesse Smith. Come set, the 1-1. High, ball 2. The Kernels got a big lift yesterday in their 7-3 victory when the newcomer David Austin in relief of Chris Hunter spun 3 shutout innings. Jesse Smith's allowed 1 run so far in 3 innings. A deep drive to right. It's the fourth 3-run homer of the game. The fourth 3-run homer of the game for the Lugnuts. Wow, 4 3-run homers for Lansing. And that closes the book on Jesse Smith. Wayne Hedden's troubles continue as he's rocked here in the 8th inning. He's given up a double and a 2-run homer. Chris Walker with the the fourth 3-run homer for the Lugnuts. That doesn't happen often that a ball club hits 4 3-run homers. But that's what's happened, and the Kernels are taking their lumps now. It's 13-1 Lugnuts. We've been at the happy end of these types of scores. And when you're at the other end, you just have to remember that it's one game. You can lose a game 1-0, or you can drop a game 13-1. It doesn't matter. It's only one ball game. And tomorrow, the great redemptive value of the Lord, who has all things in order, the sun will shine tomorrow, and it'll set in the west, and baseball will be played tomorrow. A ground ball, and it's fielded by Caleb Mayer. He underhands to Wayne Hedden covering for the first out of the inning. The final line on Jesse Smith. He goes 3 innings. He allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. He fanned 5. He walked 1. Wayne Hedden retires Carlos Rojas as Rojas grounded 1 to first. Caleb Mayer bobbled it, but picked it up in time to underhand to Wayne for the first out of the 8th inning. Here's Brian DePerick. He has one of the 4 3-run homers for Lansing. $2,125. Enjoying the day, enjoying the beautiful stadium, but not enjoying the score. It's 13-1 Lugnuts. A pitch is low, ball 2 to Brian DePerick. Now he taps one to the right side. Charged by Matt Abram, and on to first for the out. Boy, that ball has found Matt Abram quite a bit in his first start at second base. Matt has 1, 2, 3, 4 assists. He has 4 assists this afternoon. Kevin Collins is at the plate with the bases empty and 2 out here in the top of the 8th. We are so happy that you've made us a part of your Memorial Day plans, and plenty of the day remains. I sure hope to get out for a workout and do some laundry. I know that sounds so exciting, but to me it is. Here's a high fly ball into center. Nick Kimpton drifts in and to his left, and the center fielder gloves it. Kevin Collins flies to center, and after a rocky start in which he gave up a double and a 3-run homer, Wayne Hedden settles down and gets the Lugnuts to end the 8th inning. Lansing scores 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no Kernel errors, a wild pitch, and nobody left for Lansing. We go to the home half of the 8th, and the Lugnuts in a romp lead the Kernels 13-1. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
Dun, 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 dun,
Da 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 da! Hey, call the A-Team!
Hey, Matt, thanks for having us over for the game, but we could have had it at my house. My TV is bigger, and my AC works.
I thought you were supposed to get that fixed while your wife was out of town this week.
Oh, man, I totally forgot, and she's coming home tomorrow. She's gonna kill you. What am I gonna do?
You need to call the A-Team.
The A-Team?
Yeah, Ahern Plumbing and Heating. They can get your service in 24 hours, guaranteed.
I better call Ahern Plumbing and Heating right away.
Fall 6 weekends, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do the walking through Yellow Book. The other book.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Let your fingers do walking through Yellow Book. The other book.
Brandon Wood, leading off the 8th inning, lifts one into right. The sun, the wind caused a great deal of havoc, but staying with it to make an over-the-shoulder catch was Carlos Mejia. Well, Brandon Wood, first pitch swinging against Billy Petrick, lifted it into right, and it was some adventure. Mejia stuck with it and caught it for the first out on the first swing of the 8th inning. Brandon has driven in the only Kernel run of the day, 13-1 Lansing. Bobby Wilson at the plate takes one low for ball one from Billy Petrick. Now a breaking pitch high. If the Kernels don't rally this afternoon, our 11-game homestand record will be 7-4. And we'll head off to an 8-game road trip, 4 in Burlington, 4 in South Bend, Indiana. Bobby Wilson lifts one on the infield. The third baseman, Drew Larson, lost it. Now the shortstop down the line and left has it. Carlos Rojas had to bail out his third baseman. Drew Larson was charging that pop-up. It was behind third, down the left field line, and the shortstop caught it. Carlos Rojas. 2 gone in the Kernel 8th inning. The batter, Matt Brown. Brownie is walked, flown to right, and grounded to short. Kernels have been out hit 13-6, out homered 4-0. 4 3-run homers by Lansing in this game. Nothing doing in either bullpen, so perhaps Wayne Hedden will work the top of the 9th, and perhaps Billy Petrick will work 6 innings. He's in his 5th inning of relief for the starter, Ryan Dempster. Here's a line drive into center field. A base hit in front of Chris Walker. Matt Brown has his first hit of the day as he drilled one into center with 2 out here in the 8th inning. 13-1 Lansing. Matt Brown with the 7th Kernel hit of the day. Traditionally, elementary school would be out by Memorial Day, and elementary school would start after Labor Day. That was back in the 50s and 60s, but now elementary school goes into the first week of June, and elementary school starts before Labor Day. But traditionally, the school year was set up because here's a high pop-up to the center of the infield. This will not be an easy play. The second baseman staggers underneath it, and Robinson Chirinos catches Matt Pauley's high pop-up to the right side. In the 8th inning for the Kernels, no runs, 1 hit. There were no Lugnut errors. The Kernels strand their 8th of the day. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and it's Lansing 13, the Kernels 1. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
When we met, it's forget, we would never forget the Ojanos.
Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Hey,
corporate employees and union members, too. Airport National 27-0 Public Golf Course in Cedar Rapids has an unbelievable new corporate union season pass special for you. 2 people for $300, 4 people for $250, 10 people or more for only $200 each. Add a spouse for only $125 or just $50 for each child. Airport National Public Golf is now accepting new corporate, charity, and church golf outings and leagues starting as low as only $11 per person. Holy sliced, Batman. Please visit us just 4 miles east of the Eastern Iowa Airport today.
Hey, how was the trip?
Great. Thanks for getting my mail.
Anytime.
Wait, where's my new copy of ESPN the magazine and my free messenger bag?
I don't know. Gotta run.
Hey, is that my bag hanging on your chair?
No.
The hottest magazine out there is offering the coolest deal. Just call 1-877-ESPN-MAG today and get 26 issues for just $1 an issue. Call now and you'll receive a free ESPN the magazine messenger bag to carry your 26 issues around in style.
Beautiful Memorial Day afternoon. This game goes to the top of the ninth, 13-1 Lansing, and a ground ball sharply hit to third. Matt Brown gloves it and throws in time to get Carlos Mejia. 4 in a row retired by right-hander Wayne Hedden. We were talking before the end of the Colonel Eighth about the typical school year, what it used to be like, and I hadn't realized, not growing up in an agricultural community, certainly an agricultural state of Illinois, but my hometown of Alton, Illinois, you know, it was at least 45,000 people when I grew up. Here's a pitch over the batter's head, and he glares out at Wayne Hedden. Now the batter takes, well, he turns around, and there's no way Wayne Hedden's going to try to hit Robinson Chirinos in a 13-1 game in the ninth inning. It would serve no purpose. I didn't realize that the reason that school would start after Memorial Day, I didn't realize that school would end before Memorial Day and start after Labor Day was due to the farm calendar. And now the batter's hit, and let's not have any incident. We don't need that. Robinson Chirinos hit in the left bicep. He is walking down to first. I'm not sure if Wayne Hedden was trying to deliver a message from the Colonel dugout. I don't think there's any bad blood brewing between these two teams, but let's keep it that way. Traditionally, kids would help with farm work, and the farm calendar was that the longer the kids could be at home to help with the work on the farm in the summer, the better. That's why we have this traditional schedule. Now here's a high pop foul back of the plate. Bobby Wilson gets rid of his what a catch by Bobby Wilson. Oh, boy, Bobby Wilson, that ball drifting further and further back towards the diamond. Bobby caught it, I believe, in foul territory. He discarded his Anaheim Angel red catching helmet, and then the wind took it back, and the topspin took it back towards the plate, and Bobby Wilson made a whale of a catch on a foul pop that wound up just to the left of home plate. 2 gone in the 8th inning. The batter, Drew Larson, he's 3 for 4 with a 3-run homer. Drew Larson will long remember his 4-game series in Cedar Rapids. He has 3 home runs in the series, and those 3 home runs have produced 9 RBIs. Or check that, 7 RBIs. He has a 3-run homer and 2 2-run homers, so that's 7. Ball 2 outside to Drew Larson from Wayne Hedden. Now a breaking pitch low. I was going to say our good friends at Taylor, which is just a fly ball away over the right center field wall, and Polk Elementary Schools, they go to school year-round. Ball 4, Wayne Hedden with a 4-pitch walk to Drew Larson. 2 on, 2 out for Alberto Garcia. They're playing right now at Wrigley Field. We'll have a look at all the scores on the Colonel Curtin call. State Farm Major League scoreboard. We've sure had a great run here during our 11-game homestand. A ground ball to short. Brandon Wood fires to Matt Abram at second for a force out of Drew Larson. That play went 6-4 to end the Lugnut 9th inning. No runs for Lansing, no hits, a hit, bat, or a walk. There were no Colonel errors. Lansing leaves a pair. They've stranded 5. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it's Lansing 13, the Colonels 1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Here we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Caleb Mayer, Blake Balcom, Matt Abram, three right-handed batters to face Billy Petrick. Billy is spun 5 shutout innings at the Kernels, and he misses outside. Ball 1 to Caleb Mayer. Nothing doing in the Lansing left field bullpen, so Billy Petrick will try to earn his 7th win of the year. He fires a strike called to Caleb. Caleb Mayer. Nothing for 2. He walked his last time up. He tips one foul at the feet of the catcher, Alan Rick. Billy Petrick has pitched 5 innings, and he's allowed no runs on 4 hits in 5 innings. Petrick has struck out none. Look out, a pitch hammered foul into the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. It's still 1-2 to Caleb. Billy Petrick at 6 feet 8 inches, 6 feet 6 inches tall, has not struck out a batter. He's walked 1. And a tap to the left side. Tough play for the third baseman, but Drew Larson's done it all at the plate and in the field, and he throws in time to get Caleb Mayer. Drew Larson had to come racing in and to his left from his third base position to get Caleb Mayer. 1 out here in the ninth inning, 13-1 in favor of Lansing. Billy Petrick, 5 1/3 innings so far, no runs, 4 hits, no strikeouts, 1 walk. In relief for the starter, Ryan Dempster. Another up the first base side, and it spins foul off the bat of Blake Balcom. If the Kernels fail to rally here in the ninth inning, the final record of the homestand will be a very good 7-4. We were hoping for 8-3, but Lansing had other ideas with their barrage. 4 3-run homers today. Ball 1 low to Balcom. 2,125 on hand here on this beautiful Memorial Day afternoon. Nothing could beat baseball on Memorial Day. You know that old saying, baseball, apple pie, and Chevrolet? Will add Memorial Day baseball to it. Swing and a miss by Blake Balcom on a high heater. Blake steps out. It's been windy all afternoon, but delightful. Wasting one upstairs is the 6'6" right-hander, Billy Petrick. The Lugnuts will be rooting for us when we visit South Bend this next weekend, coming off 4 in Burlington. Lansing's trying to catch the Silverhawks. Strike 3 called to Blake Balcom, the first strikeout for Billy Petrick. And who knows, maybe later this summer we'll say, when the Cubs are in the heat of a pennant race, that we saw Ryan Dempster here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium throw 3 innings of 1-run ball at the Kernels. Dempster might be a very important man to the Cubs. Swing and a miss by Matt Abrams, strike one. This game is only 2 hours and 28 minutes old as we speak, so it's gone quickly. Matt Abrams, 1 for 3. Hits one into center. That should end it. Chris Walker drifts back, and Chris Walker has it on the edge of the warning track. Matt got it up into the jet stream, but it was caught by Chris Walker. This Memorial Day game only took 2 hours and 27 minutes, and it was won by Lansing in grand style, 13-1. The Kernels go in order in the bottom of the ninth inning and split with the Lugnuts and go 7-4 on the season's longest homestand of the year. 13-1 Lugnuts. Will wrap it up on Memorial Day with the Colonel Curtain Call in just a moment. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
You're in the Zone. Attention sports fans. Iowa's #1 sports announcer is right here on the Zone. For the second year in a row, the Iowa Associated Press has named Scott Unash the best damn play-by-play announcer in the state. Fact is, Scott's dedication to outstanding coverage of area metro sports is unprecedented. The guy eats, sleeps, and breathes local sports. You can catch Scott weekday afternoons at 3 on the 19th hole with Scott Unash, and Saturday mornings at 9 when he hosts the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner. And in addition to great seasonal high school play-by-play, you can hear Scott calling all the hot action of Hawkeye Downs racing on Friday nights. Scott knows sports, and once again, he's AP's top play-by-play announcer of the year. One more reason why you need to keep it in the Zone. ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Memorial Day baseball. We had a great time bringing you it. It was the final game of a 4-game series with Lansing, and the Lugnuts romped 13-1. They hit 4 3-run homers. 3 of them came off Colonel starter Nick Touchstone, a 3-run homer by Drew Larson in the second, a 3-run homer by Kevin Collins, his league-high 15th in the third, a 3-run homer from Brian Doperick, his 12th of the year in the 4th inning, and then a 3-run homer was belted by Chris Walker, the leadoff batter, off Wayne Hedden out of the Colonel bullpen in the 8th inning. And with those 4 swings of the bat, 4 3-run homers, Lansing mauled the Kernels here in the series finale, the homestand finale, 13-1. The only Colonel run came off big leaguer Ryan Dempster in the 3rd inning. Howie Kendrick, a 2-out single, stole second and scored on a base hit into left center by Brandon Wood. That single by Wood scored Kendrick and cut the Lansing lead to 6-1. But the Lugnuts kept hitting 3-run homers, and they won it big, 13-1. For Lansing, 13 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. They left 5. The Colonels 1 run, 7 hits, no errors. We stranded 8. The winning pitcher in relief, Billy Petrick. In 6 innings, he allowed no runs, 4 hits, struck out 1, walked none. Billy Petrick in relief of Ryan Dempster is 7-2. The Colonel loser was Nick Touchstone. He's 1-2. The game took 2 hours and 27 minutes to play before a crowd on Memorial Day of 2,125. Up next on the Colonel Curtain Call, we'll enjoy our Liberty Bank star play of the game. So stay tuned for that. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double door. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried Costco?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going going to Cost Cutters.
Right now?
My roots, thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters make things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Hundreds of kids among the crowd of 2,125 here this afternoon on Memorial Day, and they saw Lansing gain a split in this four-game series with the Kernels with a 13-1 basting of the Kernels this afternoon. Liberty Bank, Iowa's fastest-growing bank, is proud to bring us our Liberty Bank star play of the game. It happened in the bottom of the third inning. Kernels down 6-0. Howie Kendrick, who had two of the Kernels' 7 hits, stroked a two-out single into center. He stole second, and that brought up Brandon Wood to face big leaguer Ryan Dempster. Here's our Liberty Bank star play of the game. Here's the payoff pitch to Brandon. Stroked into left center for a base hit. The Kernels are on the board. Howie Kendrick scores standing up. Brandon Wood delivers an RBI single over the head of Carlos Rojas into center field, and it's 6-1 Lugnuts. Terrific piece of hitting by Brandon Wood. His 29th RBI of the year. That is our Liberty Bank star play of the game. The Kernel homestand record concludes at 7-4 with Lansing's 13-1 victory here on Memorial Day. We'll take a look at Memorial Day action in the big leagues on the State Farm Major League scoreboard when we return. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Most of us have been in a situation before in buying an automobile where what we owe is more than what our vehicle is worth. And sometimes it's thousands of dollars. There is a better way to put yourself in a better position when it comes to value, quality, and reliability. Put yourself into an industry-leading Honda automobile from Randy Keel Honda. The Odyssey minivan boasts being #1 in safety and the #1 minivan on the market for the last 5 years. The Honda Accord leads the way in safety and has made the Car and Driver's Top 10 list more than any other car in history. The Pilot topped the SUV categories in its first year out and remains a class leader. And the CR-V continues leading in its class since its arrival in 1997. The subcompact Element is so functional and practical, they're selling as fast as they arrive. So doesn't it make sense to get the best value in the market at Randy Keel Honda? Great folks to deal with, too, and #1 when it comes to getting you the best price. The home of confidence is Randy Keel Honda, Centerpoint Road, or on the web at randykeel.com.
The hundreds of kids continue to enjoy running the bases. One little girl spun out and has a little bit of a skin knee, but she'll be fine. She's back in her mom's arms. It is a stampede, a herd of kids that leave first base and then run around the bases, some of them less than 2 feet tall, chugging with every bit of energy they have as the big kids pass them up. Everybody's having fun on Memorial Day. Lansing had all the fun at the Kernel expense this afternoon. They slugged not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 3-run homers en route to a 13-1 pasting of the Kernels. State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Gary Hubat, Lanny Peterson, and Dale Thompson are now proud to present our Memorial Day look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's start in the American League, 3 finals this afternoon. At Fenway Park, the Orioles pummeled the Red Sox 13-4. At Comerica Park, the Tigers crowned the Royals 8-4. And a final from the Metrodome, the Devil Rays whipped the Twins 7-3 today. The only other game in the American League is at Safeco Field tonight, where the Mariners tangle with Toronto. In the National League, we have one final. This afternoon in Atlanta, the Braves pounded the Expos 8-2. They're in the top of the 6th inning at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs lead Houston 3-0. Top of the 6th inning in Los Angeles, the Brewers and Dodgers are scoreless. Florida in the top of the 5th at Pro Player Stadium leads Cincinnati 5-4 Marlins. After a rain delay in Philadelphia, they're back in action. The Mets and Phillies and New York leads 1-0 in the top of the 4th inning. The Cardinals and Pittsburgh are playing at PNC Park, and the Redbirds lead the Pirates 5-2 in the top of the 3rd. Tonight in the National League, San Francisco and the Diamondbacks in Phoenix, and the Padres entertain the Rockies at Petco Field. Anything of significance on the State Farm Major League scoreboard in the Midwest League? Yes. Kane County has beaten South Bend 9-4, so Kane County is now a half game ahead of the Kernels, and they will play. That was the continuation of a suspended game, I believe. So the Kane County Cougars take over first place in the Western Division first half standings. The team we were tied with, Peoria, is in the top of the 8th, and they're losing. Wisconsin is hammering the Chiefs at O'Brien Field 14-3, so it looks like the Kernels will start play tomorrow in a tie for second in the Western Division first half standings by virtue of a Kane County win at Philip Elstrom Stadium, what looks to be a Peoria loss at O'Brien Field, and what was a 13-1 triumph by Lansing this afternoon. It was a wonderful day for baseball. The only thing that spoiled it was the outcome of this ball game, 13-1 Lugnuts. We look forward to bringing you action tomorrow evening from southeastern Iowa, Community Field in Burlington. The Kernels and the Burlington Bees, the Kansas City Royal minor leaguers. We'll have the dugout interview at 6:40 tomorrow from Burlington. The Kernel homestand record was a sterling 7-4. We thank our guests, Connie and John Duncan. I'm sure they're tuned into the Kernel Curtain Call as they drive home from the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Wonderful homestand, 13-1 Lansing. Thanks to Deb Williams, our in-studio engineer. I'm John Rogers. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day afternoon and evening. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.